Blacksburg High School football on ESPN Blacksburg.
And greetings from Richlands, Virginia, home of the Blue Tornado, and the name of the stadium escapes me, Ryan.
Ernie Hicks Stadium.
Ernie Hicks Field. All right. We are here bringing you Bruins High School football. Paul Vanwagoner alongside Ryan Dye, and of course, all of you in a good evening, a beautiful, beautiful evening here in Richlands for high school football. The 2-1 Bruins taking on the 1-1 actually Blue Tornado. Richlands actually had a bye week last week, so an extra week to get ready for the Bruins, Ryan, and from talking to some of the family members of Ryan Dye, it seems like maybe possibly it was needed an extra week for the Blue Tornadoes to get ready for the Bruins.
Yeah, it hasn't been a fun early season for Richlands. They had Gate City, which is generally a power. They're a little bit down right now. They're 0-3. They're looking at 0-4 this week.
Right.
In the benefit game before that, Richlands lost its best defensive player in Justice. He was a transfer from Hurley, Virginia. Okay. Which I know you've heard me talk about a couple times. Yep. I always say I want to take you there because it's truly in the middle of nowhere. But he was the Black Diamond District player, defensive player of the year last year. Okay. And was figuring to be a key part of this Richlands defense. Yes. And he was lost on the first series of the benefit game for the year to an Achilles as a senior. So, it's unfortunate on that part. So I think after Gate City, they had Union, which is one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the state in 2A, who has James Mitchell, who Virginia Tech fans hopefully want to know more about. Right. Virginia Tech is in the top 5 for James Mitchell, who's a 4-star tight end. So I think after losing that game and not looking impressive against Gate City, it was definitely much needed to have a bye week to try to right the ship after a whirlwind 3-week span there.
Well, and if you're going to start out your season kind of at a deficit, I guess the first couple of weeks probably the best time to do it. And really, if you look at it from Richlands' standpoint, they're 1-1. And I realize that, when you talk about Richlands football, that's not the standard. 2-0 is the standard. 3-0, playoff bound, state semifinals. That's what Richlands is all about. And what Blacksburg is hoping to build under Thad Wells and is definitely off and running towards doing that. So you start out a little bit slow and people begin to panic. And I think that you will agree with me, if Richlands just stays the course, they'll be fine this season.
I believe so. The issue is going to be, for Richlands, it's a murderer's row for the first 6 weeks of the season. Yeah. Like Gate City may be down, but that's still a tough game. It doesn't matter. They could be 0-10, and they're still going to be one of the most smash-mouth 0-10 teams you're ever going to see. Right. Union is destined for 10-0. Blacksburg is the defending 3A state champion, and as we've seen this year, they're good. Yeah. Next week, Richlands gets William Byrd. Yeah. A team, just on the other side of Roanoke, who has a running back who's ran for like 1,200 yards in 3 games. Right. Week after that, they have Bluefield, West Virginia, ranked the #1 team in West Virginia AA. The week after that, they're going to get a Marion team who has not lost yet this season and has a running back quarterback duo that seems to be one of the better in the district that Richlands plays in. So they have a couple weeks there to calm down before Graham, who's the county rival, who's Blacksburg knows Graham well. Yep. The schedule is not easy, so the problem, while I think they're going to be fine, they could be staring at 6-4. Right. That hasn't happened here in probably close to 20 years at this point.
Well, and it's interesting because you think about 6-4. The Bruins last season 5-5 make the playoffs, and yeah, a lot of people weren't maybe happy that they were 5-5, but were happy that they made the playoffs. And at the end of the playoffs, everybody was very happy in Blacksburg about that. So
and everybody here too. With the connections between Blacksburg and Richlands on the coaching staffs too.
Well, and actually that brings up a great point. Thad Wells, of course, a graduate of Richlands, as is one of the assistant
Brandon Compton, he's the defensive coordinator.
Yeah, so. both Richlands grads. Both of them played under Coach Mance here at Richlands. And actually, coming up, we're going to talk to Coach Thad Wells about that connection and about, are the offenses mirror images of each other? Thad says they're not. We'll kind of see once the game gets going. But it is. It's definitely an interesting dynamic with these two teams playing. playing. And it's funny because the players on the field really, for the most part, don't really care that much. This is just another game for them. It's the fans. It's both sides of the stands. It's the coaching staffs. It's us in the press box that get excited for these potential games where there's a little more than just the football end of things.
I've made the joke all week that if you went and asked every player on Blacksburg's roster where Richlands is on a map, I don't think any of them could do it. If you flip that, if you ask Richlands or players where Blacksburg is, they're probably going to be within a pretty reasonable distance of where it is.
Well, we have a university.
A major university that helps that. But these players, Blacksburg has been here for 7-on-7s the past couple of years. So their skill players are used to the turf.
Right.
They're used to the field. They're used to this arena. They may not be used to the crowd and that sort of thing that'll come tonight. But it means more to, obviously to Coach Wells, Coach Compton, Coach Mance from Richlands. We've talked about it all week. It's student versus teacher, right?
Right.
So it means something to those guys, probably more than it means, to the average player on either team, really.
Yeah, exactly. You're listening to the Nest Realty pregame show. Nest Realty is your full-service real estate brokerage specializing in residential properties throughout the New River Valley, bringing together top agents, innovative technology, and exceptional expertise to help their clients throughout Blacksburg, Christiansburg, and the surrounding counties to buy and sell real estate. Check them out online at nestrealty.com. Let's do this. We'll take a quick time out. When we come back, we will sit down and we will chat with Coach Thad Wells about the teacher, the pupil, the offenses, what they're looking to do, and maybe even touch a little bit on Salem coming up next week. That and more as part of your Nest Realty pregame show on your local radio station. We are ESPN Blacksburg. The Nest Realty pregame show continues with head coach Thad Wells, and a little bit better performance last week against Amherst. More of what we kind of expect out of the Bruins offense.
Yeah, we were, again, pretty efficient, more closely to, if you look at the Giles game versus the Lower Botetourt game. But, again, we were able to run the ball and throw the ball in that game and just again, be really efficient.
You mentioned Botetourt. We talked about this last week. They sold out to stop Colbeck. We didn't really see that as much out of Amherst. At least I didn't think so from my vantage point. If I'm wrong, please obviously correct me. I think as the season progresses, though, you're going to see that a lot more. Teams are going to sell out, and they're going to try to stop Cole, which means that other players are going to definitely have to step up.
Yeah, I would think that's right. Amherst really just kind of tried to play their basic defense, and that's what, again, most people are always going to do, or they're going to think that the best thing to do is just stick to what they do well. But if you think about playing teams like Giles, we have to change our defense in order to stop what they do, and I think that is the case when you have somebody like Colton in the backfield. You've really got to dedicate a lot of resources to stopping that.
Yeah.
And one of the hardest, one of the quickest ways to get beat is to get beat in the run game if people just gas you there. So I do expect people. We always go into the game thinking that we're going to see something different to stop Colton.
Does that change the way you guys game plan your offense, knowing that teams are gonna sell out, or are you just like, you know what, that's fine. If Cole gets 20 yards and we pass for 400 and we win the game, that's all that matters.
Well, we're very different in how we game plan, almost to the point where we don't game plan anymore.
Okay.
And that's very different, but it's also
explain, please.
It's also, if you look at some of the military strategies of more recent years compared to on the battlefields when it was just you saw your opponent and you went head to head.
Yeah.
It's not that way. I was just reading actually this week in a book. It was talking about when two people are playing chess, just because you see the opponent's people doesn't mean you're going to win.
Right.
You don't know what's going on in somebody's head, inside somebody's head. So for us, we have no clue what a defense coordinator in high school football is thinking from week to week. Just because what we see on film isn't enough for us to sell out to create a game plan anymore. So our game plan is to be really good at what we do, and then to make adjustments as fast as we can on Fridays.
Okay.
So we really do not have a game plan going in. We just know who we'd like to get the football, and we know if that's not working, we'll go to the next best option, and that's literally how we game plan.
I want to ask you, as someone that calls the plays for the offense, how far ahead are you thinking during the course of the game? Are you a series ahead? Are you a couple of plays ahead? Does it change from series to series and play to play?
Well, you really don't want to be, reacting to what's happening. You do want to try to get ahead of things. So that first series for us is just kind of testing the waters, see what they're doing, what's going on, and then from that point on, we just start calling things essentially that we think's going to work. I mean, it's not really necessarily staying ahead. It's just learning their patterns and then start to call things that should work against what they're doing.
Are you a believer in setting up plays by running other plays? Is that something that you do?
Our philosophy is definitely based in, again, something reading in books, and it's a military strategy, again, which is essentially, flanking somebody. We describe it as basically if you're a boxer, there's a couple things to think about is one, if you just go for the uppercut the whole time, it's not going to work. The person's just going to take it. So what we talk about are jabs. We're going to jab until we can get a hook in. So we're looking for jabs and hooks. And then the dancing you do around the ring is to distract them from your jabs and hooks. Right. So our speed, going fast, a little bit faster tempo than most people in different formations and just different offense altogether, is kind of us dancing. Yeah. It's distracting people from our jabs and hooks, but at the end of the day, we'd rather throw a hook every time, which is the home run. Yeah. But if you do that, they're ready for it. So we jab and dance till we can throw the hook.
I like it. I like the analogy. All right, so I have to ask you. It's a homecoming of sort for you this week against Richlands. You played quarterback there. You, I believe, coached under Coach Mance for a couple of years there. I know that their players and Blacksburg players, there's not a rivalry there, but is there a little something for you and the coaching staff going to Richlands this weekend?
Well, I mean, these guys, all of their coaches have been there since I played, and just about all of them, and I'm friends with those guys, and some of them have been mentors to me growing up, so it's really just it's a fun time. It's really, we're just looking forward to really just, It sucks to be on the losing end just because you don't get that little punch in the gut there, just to have fun with each other. But it's hopefully after this game's over with and we can talk to each other and make fun and pick at each other. But we're excited. A
lot of what you do with Blacksburg mirrors a little bit of what Richlands does. How much of these offenses are we going to see mirror images of each other? I mean, from the offset line to the spread, is it a mirror image?
No, not at all. I mean, they don't run an offset line, but now they were one of the first teams to really sell out to spread in Southwest Virginia and to stick to it, in good times and bad. They've stuck to their spread but they're multiple. They're a multiple team, and we are too at times. So you'll see us. The biggest things, we're always in the shotgun, and we both throw the ball quite a bit compared to most teams in Southwest Virginia.
Defensively, though, I mean, defense is defense in high school football, but there's going to be a lot of differences on the defensive side, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, we don't. I think we're a little bit different in that. I mean, what we base out of and what they base out of is definitely different.
Okay. So I got to ask you, as an alum, how bad do you want this win? I mean, I know as a coach you always want the win, but is there a little extra this week for you?
I really try to maintain that a game is a game, and I don't care. But losing and having to deal with this will not be good.
Are your parents still in Richlands?
Yes, they'll both be there.
So I got to ask you, who are they rooting for?
Just say they'll have a lighter shade of blue on tonight at the game.
Okay. All right, I got you. Coach, as always, appreciate you doing this. Look forward to the game tonight against Richlands. Really looking forward to seeing how the two teams match up, because I know that this is a good Richlands squad. I mean, this is a team that in past years has gone to state semifinals, state finals. So obviously, it's a good test for the Bruins, isn't it?
Absolutely. They lost in the state championship game last year, so they're a very good team, and they lost some of their skill guys, but they're really good up front and big up front, and have a good quarterback and good defense, really good defense. So it's definitely a test for us.
Good luck tonight. We'll look forward to talking to you next week about. I guess we got Salem next week. Is that right?
Yep.
Not looking ahead to that at all, are you?
Absolutely not.
All right. Good luck tonight, Coach. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks.
Coach Thad Wells, we'll take a quick time out. You are listening to the Nest Realty pregame show on your local radio station. We are ESPN Blacksburg.
ESPN Blacksburg.
Back live at Richlands High School as the Bruins get ready to do battle with the Richlands Blue Tornado. Singular, correct?
Singular, that is right.
Okay, because I always said tornadoes, but then I heard your PA announcer here at Richlands saying tornado, so I just...
Yep, it's singular.
Okay.
Stand for Cardinal.
One tornado.
One tornado.
Gotcha. It's the Nest Realty pregame show. Nest Realty is your full-service real estate brokerage, specializing in residential properties throughout the New River Valley. We bring together top agents, innovative technology, exceptional expertise. They help our clients throughout Blacksburg, Christiansburg, and the surrounding counties to buy and sell real estate. Check them out online at nestrealty.com as we continue with the pregame show last week. A much more Blacksburg Bruins-esque game. Cole Beck going well over 100 yards for the Bruins in the contest. Grant Johnson looked outstanding. Beck ends up with 167 yards on the game. Johnson, he ends up going 15 of 26, only 178 yards. But the thing with him, no sacks, no interceptions. And I think as a coach, if you ask Thad Wells, we'll take under 200 yards if our quarterback doesn't get sacked and doesn't turn over the ball.
Absolutely, especially when Beck does what Beck does.
Yeah.
If you have Beck scoring 3 touchdowns, it's probably going to be enough against most teams, and to where Johnson's not going to have to go out there and throw for 5 touchdowns. So I'm in total agreement with you. I think if you're Thad Wells and your quarterback, has a stat line like that, then you're fine.
Yeah.
You're happy with that.
Well, and it's funny because last week Coach Wells and I had a conversation going into the game against Amherst where we talked about, you've got so many toys in the toy box as far as, Grant's ability, Cole's ability, Tyquest's ability, Brian Mitchell's ability. You just look at it and there's so many different things that you can do, not to mention, the Ramseys of the world and oh my gosh, I'm trying to think of some other players, but I mean, obviously, Van Gelder is another one that comes to mind. You have so many toys that sometimes it becomes overwhelming, and you just need to simplify things. And it wouldn't surprise me tonight, after talking to Coach Wells, to see the Bruins go back to a more simplified style against Richlands.
I would have to agree. We heard Thad say it. This is probably the slowest team they're going to face all year outside of Christiansburg.
Right.
When you have Terry and you have Beck, you have speed.
Yep.
You're probably going to utilize them, right? The only issue is going to be how is Richlands going to defend that. They've had 2 weeks to worry about this game. They've had 2 weeks to game plan this game. I'm sure that they know that Blacksburg is much faster, and they probably have ways, much like we saw Botetourt in the second half with Terry, stacking 2, bumping him at the line, and then having somebody over top. So we'll see if Richlands defends that exact same type of thing. And then there's always, maybe Thad might know that that's what they're going to do. Yeah. This is the great chess match, especially with these 2 coaches.
Well, and the thing is, too, is make no doubt in your mind that Coach Mance is a hell of a football coach. Like, you're going to be hard-pressed to out-coach Coach Mance. He's been doing this for a while. Greg knows what's going on out there on the field.
Absolutely. He is one of the most winningest one of the winningest coaches in this area, in this area code 276.
Right.
He's the all-time wins leader here at Richlands, which the stadium is named after a coach. Yeah. And a great one in Coach Ernie Hicks, who was here, for over 30 years. So you're definitely not going to out-coach him. Right. It'll be, counter punches and things like that, similar to what we see with Bud Foster and stuff. Coach Foster at Virginia Tech is such a great. He makes great decisions in game, good adjustments and stuff. So Coach Mance is going to do that. Coach Wells knows how to do it. Right. He's ran this system. He's been around it for so long.
Well, and not to take anything away from Richlands, because they are a good squad. This is a great program. This is a down year for the Blue Tornado. They are not. You and I were talking about this on the ride over. Had this game took place last year against last year's team, even though you're talking about a high 3A school versus a 2A school, this would have been an unbelievable game last season. It's still going to be a great game, but there's been a little bit of a drop-off just because that's that's the way high school football is. You know, I mean, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Blacksburg fans, Cole Beck's a senior, Tyquest Terry and Grant Johnson are juniors. At some point, there might be a drop-off at Blacksburg again. You know, it is the ebb and flow of high school sports. Ask Christiansburg all about that. They can tell you. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see how this game plays out, and I guess the chess match between the two, because Thad Wells has a lot more toys in the toy box than Coach Mance does. But again, Coach Mance has that ability to make those changes in a moment's notice on the fly. So it's going to be fun, that's for sure.
I agree. See, I scheduled this game on my calendar when I got the news of the series was about to happen.
Right.
I didn't yet know I'd be doing this with you.
Right.
So now it's been like double circled, right?
Yeah.
For good and bad reasons.
Right.
You know, all rolled into one. I think it's going to be a great game. I just hope it's a good game.
Yeah.
You know, I would much rather it be close than be a blowout out of the way.
Now, I do have to ask you, Richlands and the Bruins getting ready to go out for the coin toss, and the Blue Tornado line up with, it looks like their entire offense.
Those are the seniors.
Okay, those are the seniors.
That's
okay,
the 13 seniors.
So the 13 seniors. Now, only 4 of them are going out for the coin toss, but the other 9 of them are lined up at the 50-yard line watching the coin toss. Is this something that they've always done?
Absolutely.
Okay.
When you're a senior, you're a captain. They put the 4 that go out are the main captains, but every senior is allowed to come out here and take part in the coin toss. That's something that's been happening here for years.
That's very cool. Well, let's do this. We'll take a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we will have the kickoff for tonight's contest. We'll be back in 2 minutes. You are listening to Bruins football on your local radio station. We are ESPN Blacksburg.
Back to the field for more Blacksburg High School football on ESPN Blacksburg.
Back live at Ernie Hicks Stadium, Paul Vanwagoner alongside Ryan Dye and all of you as we are just about ready to kick off tonight's contest. The Bruins send 3 deep tonight. Tyquest Terry back there, as is Cole Beck, and it appears that Aiden Chase, maybe, is that 30? Brian Mitchell also deep for the Bruins. I couldn't tell if it was 30 or 36. So
I was going to say 38.
Yeah. We got a great crowd here from Richlands. Bruins brought a decent contingent across the way. Here comes the run-up and the kickoff, and we are underway. Forrest puts that ball on the ground, and it will roll into the end zone. Beck's just going to let it go, and the Bruins will set up shop on their own 20-yard line as no time has expired off the clock. So the Bruins offense will roll out there, looking to go 80 yards to open this contest. Richlands has some good size up front. There is no doubt about that. Number 60 up front is Zach Moore. Number 72 is Andrew Dye. No relation, right, Ryan?
Nope, nickname is Bull.
Okay.
6'3", 260 is what he's listed as.
Yeah.
He's a big old boy.
He is a big old boy. Johnson in the gun. He's got Beck next to him. He barks out the signals, takes the snap. Fake the handoff. Here comes the end around. Terry's got the edge. Now at the 20, 25, 30. Cuts back inside, loses his footing, goes down at the 34-yard line. The gain of 14 for the Bruins and a first down, and Coach Mann's not happy about that first play out of his defense. They bit hard on the Beck play action, and teams are going to do that. They're going to follow Cole Beck to the ball.
Absolutely, and you already start to see the game plan a little bit there for Blacksburg. They're going to try to use the speed around the edge, to make up. Richlands is big inside. It's one of those you may not be able to get so much inside as you are on the outside.
Exactly. Beck right straight up the middle, picks his way ahead, gains about 3 on that carry. Going to be brought down by the ankles by number 37. That is Dylan Atkins. Yep. Makes it a second down. A long 6 for the Bruins. I think they're going to give Cole a good spot. They're very favorable. Looks like he will pick up 4 yards on that carry. Bruins come right back out. Ramsey split out wide to the near side. Terry and Babcock to the far side. Johnson takes the snap. He hands it off to Beck. Going to try to find the corner off the left side. Not a whole lot there. Good job by the Blue Tornado to wrap up there and stymie that Bruins sweep attempt. Maybe even a loss on that play. If Beck is lucky, he got back to the original line of scrimmage. You got to give the Blue Tornado credit there, Ryan. They did a great job of just following that play.
Yeah, they set the edge. Beck wanted to go outside. It wasn't there. And then while Beck has great straight line speed,
right,
he's not always the fastest laterally with the moves and things. That's Terry. So that was a good job of bottling it up on the outside.
Absolutely. Johnson takes the snap, drops back to throw. Got Terry underneath, will sling it underneath. It's going to be caught there by Logan Hudson. Hudson going to be close to the first down. Looks like he's got it. Gain of 7 for the Bruins, and that will be a first down. I think Hudson and Terry ran the same pass pattern, and that ball just underthrown a little bit, but Hudson was there to pick it up.
Yeah, it looked like it. Johnson had some pressure in his face there from James White, number 34 for Richlands. He's not the greatest throw, but it works out for him.
Yeah, yeah. Yep. If it's ugly and it works, it's not ugly.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's always better to be lucky than good, right?
Exactly. Ramsey split out wide to the near side. Terry to the far side. Way out far is Babcock. Johnson takes the snap, drops it, slings it out to the far side to Terry. Turns it back up towards the middle. Tyquest with a move. Now a stiff arm up the sidelines. 40, 30, 25, 20, 15. Wrestled out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Tyquest Terry showing why the Richlands Blue Tornado were very scared of him coming into tonight's contest.
Yeah, I talked to some of the coaching staff, and while they did give Barry all due respect, they were much more afraid of Terry because of what we said, the lateral quickness.
Yep.
We saw there that was a 2-yard pass that he just made a turn, made one person miss, and he's gone.
Ends up picking up 23 on the play. Johnson in the gun will take the snap and whistle. And what do we have here? I don't see any flags on the play, but nothing. No flag, nothing. Just a whistle. I think maybe the officials weren't set. Maybe the Bruins.
I think Blacksburg just tried to go, and the chains weren't set, I don't think.
Johnson will take the snap. He'll hand it off. Nope, fakes the handoff to Beck. Now throws it underneath. Terry with the catch. Terry will turn it up. Gains about 6 on the play. Will be a second down for the Bruins. Second down and 4 for Blacksburg. They need to get to the 3 to get a first down. Johnson brings the offense right back up to the line. Split out wide to the far side is Ramsey. To the near side, stacked up kind of, are Babcock and Terry. Johnson will bark out the signals. Takes the snap, hands it off to Beck, finds a hole, bounces off the left side, turns it up in the middle. Touchdown, Bruins. Cole Beck from 7 yards, 8 yards out. Makes it 6-0 Blacksburg early in this contest.
That was just a case of going up the middle, a couple arm tackles, some missed tackles there, and then Beck's good enough. We talked about it a little bit earlier in the season. He put on some weight in the offseason, running through some arm tackles, touchdown.
Well, and we could see from here, we had a great view of the hole that opened up on the left side for the Bruins. Give credit up front to the blockers, because they made that happen up there, specifically over there, Davis Robertson. And I believe the other one out there on that far side was Chase Orndorff, that just kind of opened up the hole for Beck and gave him some place to run through. No swinging gate for the Bruins. Terry will take the snap, now pitches to Johnson, throws it over the top, and dropped a wide open Craig Weaver, and that ball just goes right through Weaver's hands and on the turf.
Beautiful set.
Yeah.
Terry took it as the quarterback. Johnson was actually in the backfield.
Yep.
Just a little lateral out to him, and then Weaver was wide open. I think he saw 2 points.
Yep. Weaver's eyes got a little bit too big there, and the Bruins fail on the 2-point conversion, and it is 6-0 Blacksburg with 9:36 remaining in the first quarter of play. Got to give a shout out to our friends at Sinorama for sponsoring tonight's broadcast. Thank you so much to them. Appreciate that. Beck from 8 yards out makes it 6-0 Bruins. Blacksburg huddling up, getting their special teams assignments. The wind today, I saw the flag earlier, Ryan. Now I can't see the flag. It's in the other end zone. There we go. Not a whole lot of wind here at Richlands today. So when you look at what Cam Weiss can do kicking when there's not a whole lot of wind, or when there is wind for that matter, it's almost a foregone conclusion. Now, as I look at this, though, it appears that Chaz Sheeler is going to be doing the kicking for the Bruins. Cam Wise is on the sidelines on the far side. He does not have his helmet on, but he is dressed today. So I'm not sure what's up with that. But Sheeler,
one of the best kickers in the state.
Yeah, not doing the kicking off for the Bruins, at least not on this initial kickoff. Now, I will tell you this, that in the past, Chaz Sheeler has been the onside kick guy. Now, he is pacing this off as if it will be a regular kickoff, but just wait, this could potentially be an onside kick. And there it is, the onside kick. It's not going to make it the 10 yards necessary. The Bruins had it set up perfectly, but could not convert it. They caught Richlands sleeping on that one, and Sheeler just whiffed on it.
It's 2 missed opportunities already for Blacksburg. You missed a 2-point conversion, a drop pass, and now that ball just went 5 yards.
Yeah.
You needed to go 10. It just kind of died.
Yeah, it did.
They definitely had it set up. Richlands was heading backwards.
Right.
We haven't seen that look this year.
Right.
That's the first time they've pulled that one out.
And that was something that they did a lot last year. So now the Blue Tornado get a golden opportunity here against the Bruins with the ball on Blacksburg's half. They're at the 45-yard line already. I formation in the backfield. They'll hand it off right straight up the middle. Nothing doing there as the Bruins get in the backfield. Gideon Driscoll just blows up that play. The run by the Blue Tornado goes nowhere. 2-yard loss on that carry.
One thing I've already seen a change with, I'm a little bit more intimate, obviously, with Richlands. Normally, the running back is 32, James White.
Right.
That was number 3, Trey Booker. So we've already seen Richlands make a change from the first 2 weeks here.
Yep. Trey Brown under center for the Blue Tornado. I formation in the backfield. The deep back is Booker. The up back, now a little shift by the Blue Tornado. They'll offset their line. The handoff goes to Booker right straight up the middle. And he has a nice gain there, pickup of about 5 on that play. Blue Tornado do a good job at the point of attack, opening up something there for Booker.
They're in the I formation, which is something that we've probably seen, Richlands fans have probably seen maybe 20 times in the last 20 years total.
Right.
It just really shows the lack of speed that Richlands has this year. It's compared, and in the past years, it'd be 5 wide, no running back, and now they're going 2 tight ends, full line, only 1 wide receiver. And a fullback. Something that Richlands fans are not used to seeing this kind of offense.
Brown, the wide receiver, split out wide to the far side. Booker under center. He'll bark out the signals. Check that. That's Brown under center. He hands it up to the fullback, right straight up the middle. Plowing ahead is number 45. That's Greg Griffith. Griffith will pick up about 4 on that play. Makes it a 4th down and long for the Blue Tornado. You got to figure they're going to go for it. Ball sits on the 38-yard line of the Bruins.
4th and 3 is in the past, Richlands fans will go, whew, this is easy.
Yeah.
We'll take that. I don't know, a little bit of a different offense here. It's definitely an early gamble. The chance you could pin Blacksburg back here with a good punt.
Absolutely. Split out wide to the far side is Brown. And under center is Brown also. Different one. Daniel is split out wide. Handoff goes to the fullback, right straight up the middle. Nice second effort out there by number 45, Greg Griffith, as he bounces off of some tackles, lunges forward, gets the ball across the 35-yard line, which is what they needed to do to get the first down. And it is a first down for Richlands.
That was all second effort right there. He was stopped in the backfield and just, like you said, he just kind of dove and hoped. And got, we'll say half a football more than what he needed.
Yeah, that's about it. That is about it. So first down and 10 for the Blue Tornado. Ball sits on the Bruins 35-yard line. I formation once again in the backfield. Trey Brown under center. Daniel Brown split out wide to the right side. The deep back is Booker. There's the shift. Now Booker gets the handoff, cuts through a hole. Ball's loose. It's on the turf, and it's going to roll out of bounds. Oh, Brian Mitchell had an opportunity to get that. Booker fumbled that thing, and fortuitous bounce for the Blue Tornado.
Absolutely. That's just a case of he's limping a little bit there. Might have tweaked an ankle, but that's one of those carry the ball with one hand when you have 2 people on you. You need to wrap up.
Yeah, exactly.
This is not a weak Blacksburg defense by any means. They're going to come, they're going to lay the wood.
Yeah.
And they're also going to try to strip the ball. They're taught that every day in practice. So
exactly.
Got to be able to if you're Richlands, or if you're, same thing with Blacksburg.
Yep.
Richlands practices on defense too. Got to wrap the ball up.
Yep. A second down and 4 for the Blue Tornado. Ball sits on the Bruins' 29-yard line. I formation again. Bruins lead 6-0. 6 minutes, 56 seconds remaining. Handoff to the up man. That is 45 Griffith. He'll plow forward for a gain of about 3. This is just, for fans listening back in Blacksburg to the broadcast, this is literally just smash mouth. This is probably what you were used to watching during the Kevin Jones, Lee Suggs era at Virginia Tech. It's I formation in the backfield. It's just a straight drop. It's a handoff, and we're going to pick up 3 to 5 yards in a cloud of dust.
It's not just I formation. It's heavy I.
Yeah.
There's 7 linemen out there if you count the 2 tight ends they have. Only 1 wide receiver. This is something that Richlands doesn't do. So the fact that they're even able to move the ball at all is a promising sign if you're a Richlands fan.
Once again, Brown under center. He'll hand it off again to the up back. That's 45 Griffith. He plows ahead, got another gain of 4 yards and a first down. And if I'm Richlands right now, all I'm doing is I'm handing the ball off to Griffith. He's got the hot hand right now. It's not pretty, but 4 yards 3 times is 12. That's a first down.
We've talked about it all season with these teams Blacksburg has played. It's so odd that we said last week, this is the week that we see some passing, on the other side. And Richlands, I think, and it's smart if you're Richlands. If you don't have the speed to beat them, then go power.
Yep, that's it. You got to try to play to your strength, not your opponent's. Brown comes back up under center. He talks to his fullback, Griffith. He also talks to his tailback, Booker. Brown will come back up under center. He'll take the snap. 5.5 remaining here. He'll hand it off to Booker. Booker off the left side. Finds a hole. Picks up about 4 yards on that carry. And this is just grinded out football by the Blue Tornado right now.
I think what you're going to see Richlands do is just try to eat the clock.
Yeah.
The
limit the possessions.
The least amount of times that you can let Blacksburg have the ball, the better chance you're going to have to beat them. Because we talk about it. In Blacksburg's offense is a Cadillac, right? It's going to go. It's going.
Yep.
So and it's kind of what Botetourt did, right? Yeah. Botetourt held the ball for 35 minutes. I think you're seeing Richlands already, deciding what they're going to do. They're just going to try to play keep away.
Yeah. And it makes sense if you're Richlands. There's a jump by the Bruins now. We've got players pointing at both sides. There's a false start on Richlands, and if you're the Blue Tornado, that's one thing you don't need because you were staring at a second down and a long 5. Now you're going to be staring at a second down and a long 10.
All right, we're actually having an officials meeting right now to see. One official says Richlands jump, the other says Blacksburg calls them to jump. We're trying to decide which official is right.
It'd be interesting to see because that's a judgment call.
You're absolutely right. This would be killer for what Richlands is trying to do.
Right.
That would kind of force them to have to go back spread, try to pass the ball a bit more, which is going to play right into Blacksburg's hands.
Yep. Dead ball, false start on the Blue Tornado. Yep, so it does go against Richlands, so that is good for the Bruins. 4:54 remaining here in the first quarter of play, 6-0. Bruins have the lead. Blue Tornado are driving. That penalty will hurt, though. They have the ball, second down and a long 10 on the Bruins' 23-yard line. Blue Tornado were on their way to pay dirt. It might have taken them about 7 more plays, but they were on their way to pay dirt. Now they're going to have to pick up a little bit more chunks of yards. If you're the Bruins defense, this is a golden opportunity for you to just pin your ears back and go. Trey Brown under center. He'll take the snap. Fakes the handoff. Going to roll out to throw on the near side. Brown's got a man open. It's Brown, and he overthrows him. Trey intended for Daniel, and he just missed the throw. Out there in coverage for the Bruins was Noah Ramsey. Ramsey was a step or so off, but able to just be close enough that it forced Trey Brown to overshoot that ball.
I think what you saw there, too, Brown's a right-handed quarterback, rolling to his left, trying to throw right.
Back across your body.
It was a beautiful play call, though. Brown faked the slant to the inside, planted his leg, went back outside. Mitchell actually slipped on the play. And it was one-on-one with Ramsey. I mean, it was there. It was open.
Well, now the Blue Tornado come out in their spread-style offense. This is more, I think, of what Ryan was expecting to see
this is what it is.
And man in motion is number 35. That's Casey. They're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. No, a quarterback keep and a sack on the play. Bruins get in the backfield. Just a jailbreak for Blacksburg. Gideon Driscoll, the first one in there. Trey Brown ends up losing his helmet on the play.
So Richlands going to go for a field goal here. Richlands kicker, Flea Forrest.
Okay.
Levi is his first name. Everybody calls him Flea.
Okay.
He has a good leg, so this is certainly within distance. Looks like it's going to be about a 44-yarder.
Forrest is a sophomore?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, 44-yard attempt. 4:16 remaining here in the first quarter of play. There's the snap. The hold. The kick is on its way. And it looks good from here. It is good. Forrest had just enough leg to get that over the crossbar, but he did. And Richlands answers, makes it a 6-3 contest here with 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter of play. Well, if you're Richlands, you come away with points, not the points you wanted, Ryan, because you were driving. That penalty, if you're the Blue Tornado, you have to play a perfect game tonight as far as we just saw it. You end up 2nd down and 10, 2nd down and 11. That allows the Bruins to pin their ears back, and they can come, and they will.
And that's exactly what they did. I think if you're Richlands, you breathe a sigh of relief that you were able to get points on your first drive. It shows, hey, we can move the ball tonight. Especially, not a lot of people have given this team a lot of chance.
Right.
Especially with what Blacksburg has been this year. So I think if you're Richlands, you're happy in that sense that you were able to come away with points. At the same time, you're probably pretty upset that penalty limits it to 3 instead of 7.
Yeah, and that penalty did stymie it. Make no never mind about that. That penalty definitely slowed Richlands down immensely. So with 4:08 remaining, the Blue Tornado will bring their kicking unit out. Bruins will respond. They'll send 3 deep once again. Same 3 as before. It is Terry, Beck, and number 30, Brian Mitchell. Now, Bruins going to be cognizant of the potential onside kick here by Richlands. I don't know if the Blue Tornado do a lot of onside kicking, but the Bruins lined up as if they are looking for it.
They don't do it often, but when they do it, it's the same thing that we just saw Sheeler try.
Okay.
It's that little poke and let it roll 10 yards and have a wave and let your kicker cover it himself.
Okay.
Richlands has done that in big spots before.
Yep.
And a lot of times it's been in state championship games, or state semis. The bigger games. They don't just pull it out every week.
Forrest with the run up and the kick. That'll go over Beck's head, and Beck just lets it go. And Cole kind of looks over at the sidelines like, oh, that's how it feels to have the kicker kick one over your head. Now we have a whistle, and everybody's coming back. I think there might have been a procedure penalty on the Blue Tornado.
I just don't think the head ref had signaled that he was ready.
Okay.
This has been already an odd set of very odd plays here.
Yes, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. So it looks like we will kick it off again and from the 40-yard line. So there's no procedure penalty. Yeah, that's just, you're right, Ryan. That's just a case of the officials once again were not ready, and so we'll try it again.
Absolutely. I actually have, I know a member of this crew.
Yeah.
And they're generally a very good crew. And they haven't done anything tonight that's could be construed as questionable. Right. It's just they're taking their time.
There's the kick. Beck is going to tip that in the end zone. Tried to swat it over to Tyquest Terry, but
trying to play some volleyball.
Yeah, no such luck there. That will go into the end zone, and the Bruins will set up shop on their own 20-yard line, leading 6-3. 4:08 remaining here in the first quarter of play. Paul Vanwagoner alongside Ryan Dye and all of you. Our engineer today is Brian Reed. He's the one responsible for keeping us on the air and sounding beautiful.
Hope we sound better this week.
We, according to what I've been hearing, we sure do.
Maybe it's just because we're back in my hometown.
Yeah, that is possible. That is possible. Johnson takes the snap, hands it off to Beck. Beck off the left side. Picks his way ahead, picks up 4 yards. A shoestring tackle out there by the Blue Tornadoes, number 44. That is Seth Johnson. Beck may have been to the third level if Johnson hadn't got that.
He was heading to the end zone.
Yeah.
Johnson, for I'll talk about it after this play.
Johnson will take the snap. He'll hand it off to Beck again. They'll try that left side again. Beck bounces it outside. Beck will lean forward, picks up a gain of about 9 and a first down for the Bruins.
Let's say number 44, Seth Johnson. He is the nephew of former Richlands star All-State player Devin Johnson, who is second all-time career rushing at Marshall and played for the Panthers for a small bit.
Okay. See? 3 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the first quarter of play. Bruins stack it up tight. Now here comes Terry in motion. This is going to be a jet sweep. Sure is. Terry gets a little pick out there on the block. Now tries to bounce it to the outside. Terry with a little stutter step. Not a whole lot of room out there for Tyquest. Good job by the Blue Tornado to find Terry and wrap him up. He will gain 1, though, on that play. And Coach Wells told me after our coach's interview, he says, you're going to see a lot of jet sweeps tonight out of us.
We're already seeing it.
Yeah.
That's 2 already in 2 possessions. But that was a good job. We've talked about it for Blacksburg this year. First guy, get a hand on, and then let the cavalry come. That's exactly what we saw there.
Well, Johnson comes back out in the gun, split out wide to the far side are Babcock and Terry. Blue Tornado showing blitz. Movement up front, and Beck is stuffed in the backfield. But there is some laundry on the field, and I got a feeling this is going against Richlands. This is going to end up being encroachment.
No, I believe this is going to be a procedure on Blacksburg, but Richlands is going to decline it.
Oh, okay. It is a procedure on Blacksburg. I didn't see the movement up front, and they let the play continue, which
lets you know that it's a procedure as opposed to a false start.
Yeah. Well, that'll make it 3rd down and 14 for the Bruins. One thing we know about Blacksburg, though, they can convert 3rd down and 14. There's no doubt about that. 3:04 remaining. Clock continues to run here in the first quarter. Bruins with a 6-3 lead. Johnson in the gun. He's got players split out wide all over the place. Back in the backfield next to him. Johnson will take the snap, drops to throw. Slings it out to the far side. It's caught out there by Ramsey. Ramsey with a convoy of blockers in front of him will pick up 22 and a Bruins first down.
That was just a simple tunnel screen. We've seen it all year. We usually see it more with Terry as Ramsey, and I think they might have used Terry there as a decoy more, bring the defense to the left.
You saw all those Blacksburg Bruins out in front, and man.
It's a convoy.
Yeah, it was. Yes, it was. 1st and 10 Bruins as they convert on that 3rd down and 14. Johnson in the gun. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, got to roll out. Now he's under pressure. Will step up into the pocket. Johnson spun around, and he'll go down. Good job by the Blue Tornado. 72 out there is Dye. He's the one that finally gets Johnson and will pull him down. But
we've seen Johnson all year he has the ability to scramble. And that was when he was still good coverage downfield. I just couldn't find anybody open. I was a little afraid there at the last minute. It looked like he was trying to just chuck it. And that's what, if you're Blacksburg, that's the last thing you want to see is your quarterback who's falling to the ground. Just sling it. 2nd
down and 16 now for the Bruins. Ball sits on the 41-yard line of Blacksburg. Johnson in the gun. He'll take the snap. Fakes the handoff. Tries to throw it over to Terry. It's batted down at the line of scrimmage. Picked up there by Zach Moore. Moore knew he wasn't getting to the quarterback, so he just got his hands up and leapt when he saw Grant throw.
That's something you don't see a lot at any, you see it some more in the NFL than you see anywhere else.
Right.
But if you're not going to make it to the quarterback, just jump. You try to disrupt throwing lanes, timing, anything like that. That was going to be a quick slant to Terry. And had the chance to, if not get the first down, it was going to be pretty close. He was single coverage out here.
Exactly. So it makes it 3rd down and long now for the Bruins. 3rd and 16. Johnson in the gun. Barks out the signals. He'll take the snap, fakes the handoff to Beck, drops straight back, now got to step up, and he's going to be smothered under. 34 is James White. He'll be credited with the sack for the Blue Tornado, and the Bruins will have to punt this ball away.
You heard the Richlands fans just go nuts. That's the kind of stop you want if you're Richlands.
Right.
Conversely, for Blacksburg, I think you might be a little bit worried about the offensive line there. That's 2 sacks they gave up on that drive, and while they were able to convert the 3rd and 14 earlier, you're not going to convert every 3rd and 14, every 3rd and 16 you're going to face.
Well, and give Richlands credit because they are selling out. They're bringing more players than the Bruins have blockers for. Now you'll
it's a dangerous game.
It is because eventually you can get beat very bad on that particular game. Now here's the punt by the Bruins.
Sheeler punted it.
That ball will take a bounce at the 30, roll to the 20, all the way down to the 16-yard line, where it will be down there by Babcock. And that's where the Blue Tornado will go to work, with the Bruins leading this contest 6-3. 48 seconds remaining here in the first quarter of play. So I'm guessing what we'll probably see here, Ryan, is one play out of Richlands, and then we'll end up going to the break. So we'll see. They come out with their heavy package.
Correct.
Yeah, they come out with their heavy package, so you know they're dedicated to the run as long as they can. And Bruins come out with basically what appears to be essentially a 4-4 look. Noah Ramsey will either play corner or will drift in. He's going to have to come out and play corner, as the Blue Tornado will send one wide to each side. I formation in the backfield behind Brown. Brown will hand it off right straight up the middle. That was number 45, Griffin, and not a whole lot there. Bruins do a real good job to stack that up. Blue Tornado will have to run one more play, though, before the end of the quarter. 2nd down and 8.
Are you tired over there?
No, I'm doing all right.
It was a long car ride.
It was a long car ride, yeah.
I'm used to this trip.
Yeah, you are. You've made this once or twice here.
In fact, I'll be right back here tomorrow.
Yeah, you're dedicated, man. I'll tell you what. I formation in the backfield. Twins to the left side for Richlands. The deep back is number 3, Booker. Handoff will go to the up back. Nothing doing there. Bruins submarine under. Great job out there by Cole Epperly to get low and trip up Griffin on that play. And that will do it for the first quarter of play. Bruins will take a 6-3 lead. We'll take a timeout. You are listening to Bruins football on your local radio station. We are ESPN Blacksburg.
Back to the field for more Blacksburg High School football on ESPN Blacksburg.
Back live at Ernie Hicks Stadium, Paul Vanwagoner, alongside Ryan Dye and all of you. Bruins have Richlands pinned back. 3rd down and 8 here as we get ready to start the second quarter of play. Dropping back to throw is Brown, and that ball will go right through the hands of number 23, Taylor Horn, and that will make it a 4th down and long, and it looks like the Blue Tornado going to go ahead and punt this thing away.
Yeah, you can call Coach Mance a lot of things, but dumb is not one of them. And it would be, I wouldn't say dumb, but it would be a rather confusing call
on fourth and eight. Yeah, on your own 18-yard line.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that would be very unconventional. No, Bruins send Tyquest Terry back to receive the punt. Terry waves to his fans in the stands.
It's a good contingent of Blacksburg fans over there.
There is. The snap to Forrest. He's got the ball. He'll put a foot into it. High arcing punt will spiral towards the Bruins sideline. Will take a hop, a bounce, and kick out at the 41-yard line. So the Bruins will set up shop on their own 41. Much better field position for Blacksburg than they had to start the last drive.
Absolutely. They've started all their drives at the 20.
Yes, so
exactly. By default, this is better.
Out-of-town scores real quick.
Salem beating Northside 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. Abingdon and Christiansburg tied 7-7 at the end of the first quarter.
Wow.
A little bit of a shocker there.
Not your grandpa's Abingdon this year. They've lost a lot.
Much like Richlands, they lost all of their skill players.
Yeah.
And much like Richland, what we're seeing tonight, Abingdon has moved to a power running formation this year.
Yes.
So, no, it's not the same Abingdon that Blacksburg saw last year.
Ramsey split out wide to the near side along with Van Gelder. Johnson in the gun, takes the snap, drops the throw, looks this way. We'll get it to Van Gelder. Van Gelder will turn it up the field. He'll be wrapped up almost immediately, but not before he picks up 7 yards. And a good start for the Bruins on this drive, leading 6-3 with 11:29 remaining in the second quarter of play.
I think if you're Richlands, you're content to let Van Gelder or to let Babcock or Ramsey beat you.
The thing is they will. That's the problem.
But I'm saying I still think you're more content to let them beat you than to let Terry and Beck get loose.
Yeah. I can see that.
And I think a lot of teams this year, not just Richlands, are probably going to be content to let that happen.
True. Johnson has to step up. He's going to run it himself. Johnson lowers his shoulder, will gain 6 yards and a first down for the Bruins.
Richlands is getting penetration on just about every pass play.
Yeah, the Bruins front five have got to figure out a way to slow down Richlands because they are selling out to get to Grant Johnson, and they are doing a really good job of it.
Right there, I mean, we saw what Grant is good at.
Yeah.
Grant is not the most athletic, fast kind of guy, but he's elusive.
Yep.
And if he makes one man miss, he's probably going to go pick up the first down.
Yep, he'll get away from you. There's no doubt about that. Johnson takes the snap, drops back to throw. He'll step up into the pocket, heaves it down the field. That ball intended for Babcock, going to be batted away. We've got a flag out here, though, at the 32-yard line. I got a feeling they're going to get the Blue Tornado for a hold in the defensive backfield. That's kind of where that penalty flag came from, was that area where the officials kind of watch.
Generally, but it looked like we saw the official do that motion, which is not, in fact, holding, generally. I'd like to see what this one is. It's in the right spot for a defensive holding.
Right. And they're marching off.
Okay, yeah. Holding on Richlands.
They march off an odd 10. So that will give the Bruins a first down. Regardless of if it's a first down automatically or not, that was plenty to give the Bruins a first down.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, the chain game needs to move the stakes.
I think there was confusion there on the side judge over there on whether or not it was going to be a first down.
There's the snap. Here comes the blitz, right straight up the middle. Johnson throws it at the feet of Beck, and that's what that is what the Blue Tornado are doing. They're just delaying the blitz. That time, linebacker James White comes way late, just kind of picks an opening in the offensive line and comes unabated to the quarterback.
If you're Blacksburg, a little bit worried here. White, you dove at him at the last minute, kind of got him a little bit low. Johnson is, I won't say he's limping,
right,
but he is certainly trying to work out one of those ankles.
Yep. No, second down and 10 for Blacksburg. Ball sits on the 37-yard line of Richlands. Johnson in the gun. He'll take the snap, hands it off to Beck. Beck going to test the left side. Beck gets stacked up. He'll pick up about 3 on that play. Nice job again by Richlands to kind of make hay at the point of penetration there. Dylan Atkins in on the stop for the Blue Tornado.
I mean, aside from that one play, we really haven't seen Beck be able to get much going.
No.
Which is very surprising, especially what we talked about, the lack of speed. And what does Beck have?
This feels very not Abingdon, very Lard Bonatot-esque for Beck. We'll see if he can get this thing going. Third down and 7 for the Bruins. Johnson in the gun. He's got players spread out all over the place. He'll take the snap. Steps up into the pocket. He's going to try to run with it. He will. Johnson tries to find the corner. He does, and out of bounds. It will be darn close. I think he's going to be a yard short. Yeah.
It's a good job by Johnson, who's now limping more. He's still maybe not limping.
That's not limping. But that's swagger.
I don't think that's swagger. That's... it looks like he's favoring his right leg a little bit. I don't think it's enough that it's going to,
it's not going to slow him down.
Right, but it's there.
Fourth down and 1. Bruins going for it. Ball on the 28-yard line. Johnson takes the snap, hands it to Beck. He plows through the line, picks up 5, and a first down for the Bruins.
It's all second effort. He was kind of ball up in the backfield, a little bit of patience.
Found a seam.
And just spit through it.
Yep.
First down, Blacksburg.
Well, first and 10. Ball on the 23-yard line of the Bruins, or of the Blue Tornado.
Almost into the 18-yard box.
Yep.
For our soccer fans.
Oh, good grief. All 3 of you listening. Good afternoon, Travis Bishop. Johnson in the gun. He'll bark out the signals. He'll take the snap. Hands it off to back. Back looking to get himself something. Nothing there. Good job in the backfield by number 44, Isaac Griffith.
Seth Johnson.
Oh, that's Seth Johnson. Sorry. Yes, you are right. And Johnson able to stack up the Bruins running back.
Any other night, I wouldn't be able to correct you.
Yeah, well,
it is the one night.
That's all right. That's all right. I appreciate it. Second down and 10, 8:53 remaining here. Clock continues to run in the second quarter of play. Bruins with a 6-3 lead. Johnson comes up to the line of scrimmage. Got it stacked up fairly tight there. He'll roll out to pass. Now he's going to step up, and he's going to be submarine down out there. 34, James White, once again, the first player in there to get a hold of Grant Johnson. And you got to give Richlands credit. They're finding the seams and getting in the backfield on the Bruins.
And Blacksburg players are breaking open late.
Yeah.
That's going to happen. They're faster. They're than this defensive backfield for Richlands. The problem is
Johnson doesn't have
enough time to get to them.
Right.
They're open back there.
Yep.
He's just within a 3 to 5 step drop. He already has somebody in his face.
Right. Well, Johnson will bring the offense back up. Once again, a very tight bunch formation for the Bruins. That bunch is to the right. Man in motion is Terry. Johnson will take the snap. Drops back to throw. Going to have to step up into the pocket. Once again, under pressure. Now we'll sling it over the middle. It's intercepted by Daniel Brown. Brown out to the 10-yard line for the Blue Tornado. Johnson just threw up a prayer, and Brown ended up answering it.
And we have 3 or 4 flags here at the end of the play.
Probably going to be offsetting unsportsmanlike conduct, I would guess.
One happened, it seemed like, during the return, and the other was after the play. So it looks like it could be, blocking the back on Richlands.
Okay.
They're not going to call it second one, it appears.
Okay, so maybe that was just a referee couldn't get his flag out quickly enough.
Definitely 2 flags on the field.
Yeah, but maybe they saw the same thing and just...
Could be.
Yep. It is Bruins 6-3, 7:42 remaining here. That'll be a half the distance to the goal kind of a deal. And Richlands will go to work on their own 5-yard line here, trailing our Bruins 6-3. Blue Tornado come out now. A little bit more of a spread formation for Richlands. Trey Brown is the quarterback. Next to him is Trey Booker. There's the snap. Booker will take the handoff. No, Brown keeps it himself. Another penalty flag. They're going to get the Blue Tornado for a hold here on the interior. The umpire was standing right there watching it, and he just tossed the flag into the scrum.
If you're Richlands, you pick up a first down there to be able to breathe.
Yep, illegal block.
And now they're going to be picked up with a legal block.
Yep. That'll be a half the distance situation, so that'll put them at the 3.5-yard line.
Absolutely, and that's not what you want.
2.5-yard.
You're going backwards quickly, and that's not how you're going to beat anybody, much less a team with this much team.
But I guess, if you are Richlands, here's the good thing. Because you're so close to the end zone, what would have been a 10-yard penalty is now essentially a 2.5-yard penalty.
The other problem is also the fact that you're on your own 4-yard line.
Right.
They assessed it from the spot of the hold because of the first down.
Okay, so. Gotcha.
Guess the hold was at the 8, ball at the 4.
Ball's at the 4. Once again, spread formation for the Blue Tornado. Brown in the backfield. He'll take the snap, fakes the handoff, going to keep it himself once again. Almost the exact same play. The Bruins had it sniffed out that time. First one in to make the tackle for Blacksburg, Logan Hudson. And with 7:20 remaining here, the Bruins continue their 6-3 lead.
We talked about this in the Botetourt game. This game is flying by. And it's because we're seeing Richlands only a couple pass attempts so far. They're just trying to make this game go quicker.
Really and honestly, both teams dedicating themselves a lot to the run. I mean, I will have to see. I know our good friend and colleague Brady Hess will be providing us with stats at halftime, but I would venture to guess that Grant Johnson has maybe only thrown the ball 6-7 times in this game. There's the throw from the end zone. That ball caught by number 21, Jacob Cole. The pass completed. Not much of a gain, maybe about 4 yards on that play.
That's one of the big things for Richlands this year was trying to find wide receivers. They lost all of their starters except for one, number 23, Taylor Horn. So it was more besides Taylor, right? Who's going to be, and Brown played a little bit last year, wide receiver. He got hurt late in the season. So you have those two, but much like Richlands, or much like Virginia Tech,
right?
You're trying to find depth.
Speaking of Virginia Tech, Bucky Hodges picked up by the Carolina Panthers on the practice squad.
He was. A lot of Hokie fans probably like that one.
Yep, absolutely. There's a handoff right straight up the middle for Booker. Nothing doing there. Bruins in the backfield to sniff that one out. Give the credit on the tackle out there for Gideon Driscoll. And the Bruins will force the Blue Tornado to punt deep in their own end. If you're Coach Thad Wells, you got to wonder here, do you go after them? I feel like you do.
I feel like you might, but the problem with that is going to be that Forrest does have a pretty decent leg for a high school punter.
But you got Beck and you've got Terry back.
That's true.
Yeah, and if you go at them right now, that forces the line to stay in a little bit longer and hold their block. I don't know. It's a crapshoot. There's a reason why I'm not a coach. And
Didn't even try.
No pressure. There's the punt by Forrest. Coming up to field it and letting it bounce are the Bruins. That will roll over midfield and will settle at the 48-yard line of the Bruins. So once again, though, still great field position for Blacksburg. 5:14 remaining here in the first half of play. Bruins will bring the offense back out, looking to add to that 6-3 lead.
That's a pretty low score.
It is.
We talked about. I think we attributed a lot of the Botetourt game to the weather.
Right.
Crappy weather leads to the kind of game that we got. The weather's perfect. There's no wind.
But the biggest difference I think between the Botetourt game and this game is that the Bruins, although Richlands is bigger up front, are able to hold their own on the defensive side.
Right.
You're not seeing Richlands picking up the 8-10 yard gains like Botetourt did. Handoff goes to Beck off the left side. Beck makes contact with a couple of defenders, spins away, will pick up 4 yards on the play for the Bruins.
That was just a nice little sweep to a sweep. I could call it a sweep, a halfback, kind of a sweep play to the left there.
Beck was just looking for an opening, found a hole, and turned it up.
If you're Blacksburg, you want to get him going.
Yeah.
Like we said, would you think he has more than 30 yards in this first half, which is...
Yeah, if he might be 30. If the over-under is 30, I'm taking 30. It's right around that number. Johnson in the gun. He'll take the snap. Fakes the handoff to Beck. Drops to throw. Slings it out to the far side. It's going to be tipped at the line of scrimmage by number 37. I believe that's Blake Casey. Maybe Dylan Atkins. Yeah, Dylan Atkins.
And we're starting. Terry is frustrated out there. I think this is a couple times that he believes that Johnson should have got the ball to him quicker.
Yep.
Although I'm not sure how on a one-step drop you can get the ball out much quicker. It's just a case of Richlands deciding that if they can't get to him, they're going to jump.
Yep, and they are. They're doing a good job of getting hands up in the passing lane. Well, Bruins will split Terry out to the near side. He'll split out here with Hudson. On the far side, you have Ramsey and Babcock. There's the snap. Johnson will drop to throw. He's got time. He'll step up, throws it over to the far side. That's Babcock. Babcock puts a move on. Now will shimmy away, and he's there for a first down. But I think, is there a flag on the play?
Yes, there is. This one's going to come back.
So.
Looks like it's going to be another illegal procedure on Blacksburg. It's going to negate a first down.
Yep.
Coach Wells is not going to be happy.
Nope. So it goes from a first down after a gain of about 13 by Drew Babcock. That will come back, and it will now end up being third down and about 16. No, I'm sorry, third down and 12. There we go for the Bruins.
I would say you were a comm major, but never mind. You were law enforcement. I don't know how the math is in that profession. But
that's why I went into law enforcement, was because my advisor in college told me that I didn't need to take math classes.
I think that's why a lot of people go into comm. Myself included.
Yep.
I am certainly not a mathematician.
Third down and 12 for the Bruins. 4:18, clock continues to run. 6-3, Bruins with the lead. Trips formation to the left side. Johnson will take the snap, drops to throw. Gets it out on the far side to Ramsey. Ramsey will make one miss, make two miss. Now Ramsey down the sideline at the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Bruins!
Nope.
Is that coming back?
It's going to be a block in the back. It's going to be a first down, but it's going to... They're going to bring that one back, and it was a block in the back. I believe it was 65 or 55 maybe?
55, that would be Chase Orndorff. Well,
believe it.
4 minutes remaining here. That will negate the 6 for the Bruins. They do lead 6-3. Well, let's see where they should, you're right, though. They should march off 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
So it should be enough for a first down.
The spot of the foul is a good 14 yards beyond the stakes.
Both teams are scooting way back, and I think the umpires are telling them.
Yeah. So it will be a first down for the Bruins. Well, the touchdown from 53 yards wiped off. However, the Bruins do get the first down. 6-3, they have the lead. 4 minutes remaining in the first half. They welcoming you back to Ernie Hicks Stadium on the big scoreboard over
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. There's a pass down the far sideline that intended for Noah Ramsey. Johnson overthrows him. Yeah, it's done now, but they welcome back the coaches from Blacksburg, our colleague Brady, and you.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It'll scroll back through in a minute.
It will. You pay attention to that. I'll watch the game. Keep me updated on how much.
I have to stick my head out the window to even see the scoreboard.
Keep me updated on how much time's left and what the score is and all that. Second down and 10 for the Bruins. Ball sits on the 38-yard line of the Blue Tornado. Grant will take the snap. Swings it out on the tunnel screen to the far side for Ramsey. Check that. That's Van Gelder. Van Gelder will plow ahead for a gain of about 4.
That was just another simple screen. The problem was that time didn't quite get the what'd you call it earlier? The convoy. The convoy wasn't out there for that one.
Yep. That one was a very quick hitter. Yeah, when it says welcome back to Ernie Hicks Stadium, you're the last one they list. I'm assuming they do it by weight.
That is Paris, long senior.
I gotta tell our listeners about.
Oh my goodness, it does say my name.
See? I gotta tell our listeners later. Here's a handoff to Beck. Right straight up the middle. Beck is into the open 10-5. Touchdown Bruins. No flags on the play. That will stand.
That one will stand, and that was Beck being Beck. That's just the fastest player in the state of Virginia.
Yeah, man.
Something we haven't seen all season is the safety actually tried.
Yeah.
Even though he didn't have the angle.
Yep. Most of the time they just
kind of quit.
Yep. Forget it.
That's the one thing we've seen different so
and
far.
You know what, though? Give credit to Coach Greg Mance and his staff. I mean, because, that comes from coaching. Yeah, you're not going to catch him. He's the fastest kid in the state. But you know what? You still tried. Give him credit for that. Well, Goforth, rather Sheeler to kick here for the Bruins.
Wise hasn't played at all tonight.
He has not. There's the low snap. Goforth's going to have to scoop that up. Now here comes the scramble drill. Goforth drops back, heaves it up to the near side. Got a man open. It's Van Gelder. There's a penalty flag in the back of the end zone.
That's going to be
complete it.
That's going to be an offensive lineman too far down the field, I believe.
Well, let's see what happens here. They're going to pick up the flag. No penalty on the play. So the Bruins will convert on the scramble drill 2-point conversion. That will make it 14-3. Well, 3:03 remaining here in the first half of play. Paul Vanwagoner alongside Ryan Dye and all of you. Now, for those that haven't figured it out yet or weren't listening earlier in the broadcast, Ryan is an alum of Richlands High School. You're born and raised here, right?
I was technically born in Abington, but I've lived here my entire life.
Okay, so
until I came to Tech 3 years ago.
Right, so. Lived here his entire life, so this has been one of those games that Ryan has been very much looking forward to in both good and bad ways. However, when you told your family that you were going to be doing Bruins football with us this year, they were not overly supportive of your new endeavor here with us.
No, I was kind of shunned from the family there for a little bit.
Did you even get any birthday presents or anything like that?
I did.
Okay.
I did, but they've given me a hard time about it. My brother probably the most, although my mom today came to see us at Magic Mart and brought me a Trader sign.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. His mom found some paper towels and wrote Trader on it and hung it on Ryan's car.
So we see what side my family's on here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They are avid Richlands supporters.
Born and raised, I attended my first game. I think I was 6 months old.
Okay.
So.
Do you remember it? Was it a good game?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It was amazing.
All right.
Kind of grew up here, so.
Sheeler on the run-up, puts a foot into it. High end-over-end kick, going to be fielded at the 10-yard line. That's muffed. Now it's going to be scooped up over there by number 34. That's White. White will jitter his way forward to about the 27-yard line. So something that could have been very bad for the Blue Tornado ends up being not too horrible.
No, and you see it a lot. You see muff punts. Suddenly, the coverage team, they start licking their chops.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
They're like, oh boy, let's go. And then you start losing gap assignment, lane assignment, that kind of thing. And you see what we had there. That should have probably been stopped around the 10 to 12 yard line. And instead, Richlands now has the ball at their own 28. I think this is a big drive here for both teams. For Richlands, you're getting the ball back, but you don't want to be down 11 points.
And remember, the Bruins started with the ball, so Richlands will get the ball back to start the second half of play.
Right.
2 minutes, 55 seconds remaining here. Richlands in more of their traditional style of offense. The quarterback is Brown. Brown will take the snap and plows forward. Not much on that, maybe a yard for the Blue Tornado. And if you're Richlands, I don't wonder why you don't go back to that I formation, the heavy set. I mean, I realize it eats up a lot of clock, but it's a 14-3 game. And you need to limit the Bruins' possessions.
I think it would be a case that if there was more than 2.5 minutes left in the game, or in the quarter rather, you might see it.
Yeah.
If you have 6 minutes, then maybe you start trying it.
True.
But with so little time here, you're not going to have enough time, to matriculate your way down the field like that.
Very true. There's the snap. Throws over the middle, almost picked off right at the feet of Noah Ramsey. Ramsey just couldn't get down low enough to scoop that ball up.
There's a miscommunication there between Brown and I believe the other Brown.
Right. Daniel and Trey, are they related?
No.
No.
And in fact, Daniel's father is sitting at the booth beside us.
Okay.
He was the one that plugged you in today.
Excellent. I have to make sure I thank him.
Ron Brown, a living legend around these parts.
Oh, yeah?
Rooster Ron, as they call him.
Okay. Would you? Well, we'll ask you to expand later, I guess.
He has a morning show on his radio station that he owns.
Okay.
He actually owns their station.
Okay, I gotcha. Trips formation to the left side for the Blue Tornado. Right straight up the middle is the quarterback, Brown. He'll pick his way ahead, and he will gain 8 yards. It'll be close to a first down. It'll end up actually being a fourth down, I believe, for the Blue Tornado. 4th and 1. So now Coach Mans is going to Coach Wells takes a timeout.
He wants the ball back.
Yeah, he does.
I think if you're Richlands here, you're tempted. Do you go back to the I formation and try to pound it?
Try to pound that ball ahead for,
even
it's a yard and a half.
Score here on this drive. The last thing you want to do right now is give Blacksburg the ball and let them go into a 2-minute drill.
Especially with 2:04 remaining, because we've seen over the course of the last couple of years how quickly Blacksburg can score.
All it takes is one.
Yep.
I mean, Beck can cover, can cover 100 yards in 10 seconds. So.
Yes. 10.4, I believe.
10.4, yeah. Which is just blazing. And this is turf, so you're not worried about wet grass or any of that thing. So I think if you're Mance, maybe you're tempted to try to play keep away.
Yeah.
The flip side of that, obviously, is if you don't get it, you're giving Blacksburg the ball on a 2-minute drill with about 37 yards to pay dirt. So,
well, and it looks like Richlands is going to send the offense out there, but it looks like Richlands is going to send a modified version of the big set out there. I see Griffith. I also see Trey Booker out there.
And also Dye, 72.
Yep. No relation still, right?
Nope.
Okay.
Still no relation.
Yep, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Now, if you're the Bruins, you got to be careful. You don't want to jump. Bruins will stack it up, I formation, and there's movement on the Blue Tornado, and that was exactly what you didn't want if you were Richlands, jumping over on the far side, Logan McLaughlin.
And now you're going to punt.
Now you have to punt it away, yep.
Coach Mance doing his very stoic arms crossed.
Arms crossed.
Showing no real emotion yet until just now when he starts.
Yep.
Now he's going to chew out Logan there a little bit. That's really hurtful for Richlands because now you're going to give Blacksburg the chance to possibly go up 17 on you.
Yeah, exactly.
Or 18, sorry.
2 minutes and 4 seconds remaining here in the second quarter of play. Back to punt is Forrest. Back deep for the Bruins. Terry and Beck, the dynamic duo. There's the snap. Forrest will put a foot into it. He'll aim that ball away and towards the sidelines. That will go out of bounds. And let's see where the Bruins end up setting up shop. The Richlands 48-yard line. So really good field position for the Bruins with 1:56 remaining in the second quarter of play and a 14-3 lead.
Definitely, that was a bad sequence of events for Richlands there.
Yeah, it was. Well, and you can see Forrest trying to kick it away from Beck and Terry, but
we've seen this all year.
Yeah.
The problem with high school punters a lot of the times is while you can find them with good legs, when you start trying to angle things, it throws off everything else.
Exactly. There's the handoff to Beck, right straight up the middle, runs into his offensive line. He'll plow forward. He'll pick up 2 on that carry. So the clock continues to run here.
One thing I noticed in looking here in the stands is a lot of Richlands fans are a little tense right now.
Yeah.
I think in years past with the offense that we've had the last couple of years, you look at this 11-point deficit and think, this is easy.
Yeah.
Now with the type of offense they're running, I think a lot of Richlands fans are a little uneasy about if Blacksburg can score here.
Exactly. Johnson will take the snap. He'll step up into the pocket. Johnson going to try to run. He'll get out of bounds. He'll gain about 2 yards on that carry. And
he does get out of bounds though, saves the timeout.
Yep, exactly. Very heady play there by the junior quarterback for the Bruins.
Actually looks like he just got back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, you're right. No gain on that play.
I think he had dropped back so far it just gave the illusion that
and he had to break so many tackles on the way to the line of scrimmage.
But this offensive line still looking shaky.
Yep.
And it's something that we haven't really seen this year. We haven't seen Johnston get a lot of pressure put on him.
Right.
Outside of a couple drives there against Giles.
Yep, exactly. Well, Bruins will send trips to the right side, Twins to the left. Johnson alone in the gun, all by himself, takes the snap. Drops to throw, going to swing it out to the far side. There's a completion out there to Noah Ramsey. Ramsey will turn that ball up the field. Gain of 10 and a first down for the Bruins. 1:21 remaining in the second quarter of play. Bruins hurry up to the line. The clock will start once the chains are set.
Blacksburg hurries up, but they're not really showing the most amount of urgency you've ever seen.
The chain gang or the Bruins?
The Bruins.
Oh, okay. The chain gang weren't either.
That's normal everywhere you go.
Trips now to the left, Twins to the right. Johnson alone in the gun. He'll take the snap. Movement up front. I think they're going to get Richlands here. No, they're going to say it was the Bruins. Because
I think Adkins he dove forward there, but I don't think he actually crossed the neutral zone, and then Blacksburg jumped.
Was that Adkins or Griffin? Was that 30? Was that 37 or 45?
Could have been either one.
Either one.
Either way, one of the two of them jumped, and it caused the Blacksburg player to make the reaction to pull back.
Right.
And they're saying that he didn't cross the neutral zone.
Yeah.
As we know in high school, if you even it doesn't matter if you get back if you cross the neutral zone.
So it'll be first down and 15 now for the Bruins. They have the lead. Clock continues to run down to 49 seconds. Johnson gonna call a timeout. Bruins looking a little confused out there on offense. Coach Wells over having a very animated conversation with the referee on the far side. How about some out-of-town scores, Ryan Dye? Can you accommodate us with any of that goodness?
I can.
Okay.
Let's see what we got here as it loads. Pulaski County leading Carroll County with 35-6, 2 minutes left in the second quarter.
Watch out for Pulaski this year. They're going to start to click. They already have, kind of.
2-1 on the season already, with the one loss being the north side, which there are bad losses. Mm-hmm. That is not a bad loss.
Right.
Salem leads north side at halftime, only 7-0. Mm-hmm. Good game out there. Let's see. Galax leading Rural Retreat 49-0. Franklin County 14, Hidden Valley 7.
Rural Retreat is my favorite rural retreat, just so you know.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Famous. I have a podcast for Southwest Virginia Sports.
Yes.
And we like to.
You and our colleague Brady Hess.
Right, and we like to make the joke that the McDonald's World Retreat is the unofficial official sponsor of the podcast. Because I stop there every time I go see my wife.
Okay.
Also, Abingdon 7, Christiansburg 7 at the half.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. Again, not your dad's Abingdon.
No.
Not at all. All right, so the Bruins come back out from the timeout. 46 seconds remaining, 14-3. Bruins have the lead. First down and 15 on the Richlands 42-yard line. Johnson with an empty backfield takes the snap, drops the throw, heaves it up over the middle, intended for Ramsey and picked off. That is going to be intercepted by Daniel Brown. Once again, he just goes up and makes the interception.
And he absolutely went up.
Yeah.
He had to, and if he hadn't got that, that was a touchdown. Ramsey was gone. That was just Brown coming over from the safety spot, drifting to the ball, and making a heck of a grab. No matter which team you pull for, that's a great catch.
Yep. Absolutely. So now
was it Van Gilder in the first game against Giles that had that amazing catch too? I mean, we didn't see this 10 years ago in high school.
No, absolutely not.
These players are becoming very good.
39 seconds remaining. Blue Tornado, let's see what they decide to do here. I got a feeling I got a feeling that they're content to go in at the half with the score what it is. I formation, they will take a knee. Trey Brown will drop down to that knee. Now let's see if Coach Wells just kind of lets this thing go. 30 seconds, so they will have to take one more knee before the half expires. Coming up, it is our Main Street Pharmacy halftime show. Our goal is to better serve the town of Blacksburg by providing personalized service to our patients to lower their health care costs through a better outcome and prices. Our free delivery and carside pickup service will make sure that you get your medications without any hassle or waiting in drive-through lines or taking time out of your busy schedule to run another errand. Main Street Pharmacy, 301 South Main Street in Blacksburg. Another knee there by the Blue Tornado quarterback, Trey Brown, and that is how the first half will end. Bruins with a 14-3 lead. We'll be back with the Main Street Pharmacy halftime show on your local radio station. We are ESPN Blacksburg. Blacksburg. Blacksburg.
More high school football on ESPN Blacksburg.
I'm just going to let the music roll. Back live at Ernie Hicks Stadium. Ryan and I stopped on the way here to get gas, and I had a deliverance moment. And I asked Brian, our engineer, to give us some banjo music to bring us back in. So
we ain't that far out in the sticks. I can take you worse.
Were you not paying attention on the drive here?
Yeah, well, probably not. I'm kind of on autopilot on that drive.
Let's continue with the Main Street Pharmacy halftime show. Their goal is to serve the town of Blacksburg. Don't forget about their free delivery and carside pickup service. Make sure you get your medications without hassles of waiting in drive-through lines or taking time out of your busy schedule to run additional errands. Main Street Pharmacy, 301 South Main Street in downtown Blacksburg. The halftime show continues. Paul Vanwagoner, Ryan Dye, our engineer Brian Reed. The Bruins have a 14-3 lead here as the halftime continues. Some stats from the first half. Not great, not horrible for the Bruins.
191 total yards, 108 passing, 83 on the ground. Obviously, that comes with Beck with 67 yards on the ground and the 2 touchdowns in the game. Johnston, 8 of 14 for 108 yards, but been sacked 3 times and he's had 2 picks. And yes, Wise is
warming up. So I wonder if maybe there was some disciplinary.
That's kind of what because he looks completely fine.
Looks healthy, yeah.
He is nailing kicks right here. This is a 53-yarder, and he is just nailing them.
Yeah. So makes you kind of wonder what was going on, but that's rock solid Cam Wise right there. So the Bruins are out from the locker room, as is the Blue Tornado. They are both out doing some stretching and getting warmed up and getting ready. The officials did put an extra 3 minutes up on the clock. So I guess keys to the second half, Ryan. If you're Blacksburg, you gotta find a way to slow down the pass rush of Richlands and slow down the running game of Richlands.
Well, you may think that.
Okay.
But Richlands only has 34 running yards.
Really?
only 34 on 16 carries.
Okay. Wow.
Only 5 passing yards.
Okay.
It's 191 to 39 in total yards.
So I guess if you're Blacksburg, let me rephrase that. Slow down the pass rush of Richlands and keep doing whatever you've been doing on
Whatever you were
defense.
doing, just keep doing it because it seems to be working.
It feels like Richlands has had a lot more yards on the ground.
It feels like it, but I think part of that comes from the time of possession here. Let me find where that was at. I lost it. There it is. Brian, the Bruins actually have had the ball more.
Really?
Blacksburg has had the ball for 13 minutes and 12 seconds. Richlands with 10 minutes, 48 seconds. So while it seems like Richlands has got a lot of rushing yards, and it seems like Richlands has held the ball forever,
right?
It's kind of even in the time of possession.
Yeah.
And it's a completely lopsided in yards.
Right, yeah. So if you're the Bruins, I guess just keep on keeping on. They do, though, need to figure out a way to slow down that pass rush of the Blue Tornado. And you know how you do that, though? And I bet you any money that the coaching staff had this conversation at halftime. Screens over the middle.
Probably, I would that quick slants.
Yep.
Which we've seen a couple of quick slant tries tonight, and they're getting batted down. But yeah, screens across. They love those wide receiver tunnel screens.
Yeah.
We've only seen 2.
Yeah. We thought we were going to see a lot more jet sweeps too out of the Bruins, and we've only seen I think 2 of those in the game.
It would be Terry both times.
I believe
Terry
so.
has ran the ball. Yeah, 2 times for 15 total yards.
Yeah. So
with one of those being 14 yards, so the other one was a 1 yard.
1 yard gain. Yeah. So yeah, if you're the Bruins, I think you just keep doing what you're doing, and if you're Richlands, you got to try to figure out a way to keep the ball. I think that's the big thing. Well, that'll wrap up our Main Street Pharmacy halftime show. The Bruins will kick off. Let's do this. Let's take a 1-minute break. We'll be right back. You are listening to Bruins football on ESPN Blacksburg.
Some live service. Now back to more high school football
again
on ESPN Blacksburg.
Back live
again
at Ernie Hicks Stadium. I love it. Bruins getting ready to kick off. Here's the run up and the kick by Sheeler. That will be fielded at the 9-yard line. Brought up to the 20, now cut back towards the middle of the field, 25, 27-yard line, and wrestled to the turf by John Cole is the return man, number 25, Jacob Hess. Any relationship to Brady?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
Could be wrong. If I could see him, if I could gesture at him, I would ask. But something we're not used to seeing. A return.
A return, yeah. Well, and
that's probably largely due in part to the fact that it's Sheeler as opposed to Wise.
Right, yep. And Sheeler, give Sheeler credit. I mean, he is putting a foot into the ball.
It got to the 3.
Yeah, exactly. So Richlands will come out to the line of scrimmage. Spread formation. In the gun is Brown. Next to him is Booker. Brown will bark out the signals, take the snap. Bruins show blitz. They drop back out. Brown rolls out to the near side. Now he's going to throw it up over the top. Got it complete to number 6, Race Moore. And Moore going to be tackled immediately by the Bruins, but not before he picks up 14 and a first down.
Race comes from a long line here at Richlands of the Moyers. Both male and females. There's 3 kids. They've all played sports here. They've all starred here. Richlands is going to try to get that going, and if you're Blacksburg, you know Richlands is going to come out here and try to throw the ball now. Yeah. They tried to run in the first half to what we thought was decent success. It really wasn't.
Really
so
wasn't,
if you're Blacksburg, you're probably going to start looking at passing.
14-3, Bruins with the lead here, just underway in the second half of play. Blue Tornado with the ball, 42-yard line. Rolling out to the far side is Brown. Brown will throw it back across his body, batted away. Nice job defensively out there by the Bruins. Playing defensive back is Cole Beck.
Absolutely. And we talk about his speed all the time, but I guess what we take for granted is the fact that as a safety, the closing speed that he has.
Right.
When the ball was let go, there was a 5-yard gap, and he got there before the ball did.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he can get. There's no doubt about that.
That's just unteachable speed.
Yeah, it is. Good to see Tim Sawyer's back in the lineup for the Bruins. Tim was out last week. Just coming off the field there, so it's always good to see players if they get injured coming back from said injuries. Bruins with a 3-man front, kind of a 3-4 defensively. And Richlands gonna change the play at the line of scrimmage. Play clock down to 7. Brown will take the snap, drops to throw, throws it over the middle. That pass complete to number 6. That's Moyer, and he'll be wrestled out of bounds by the Bruins, Brian Mitchell, but not before Moyer picks up another 12 yards and a first down.
Yeah, it was just a simple up and out kind of route. Get to the sticks and go towards the sideline. Make the defender either try to come around you or go through you. Right. Or you're going to complete a pass. That's just a good pass play, and it's really good defense too. It's just not a lot you can do.
Yep. Movement up front by the Blue Tornado. I think they're going to get Colton Medley for a false start.
Flag on the flag prior to the snap.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. So if you're Richlands, now granted, you're not doing the running the ball thing again, but you definitely don't want to be, you don't want to be playing from behind the sticks. You don't want it to be 1st and 15.
Absolutely not, in any game.
Yep, no, and if you're the Bruins, that's exactly what you're trying to get Richlands to do. Now, Brown over telling something to his tight end, Medley. Now he'll take the snap, drops back to throw. Going to step up into the pocket under pressure. Now he's going to run with it. He'll be pushed out of bounds and goes tumbling down over by the track. He'll pop right back up, get some help from his teammates. He will pick up about 7 on that play. We'll get a 2nd down and 9 for Richlands.
That's the one thing the Richlands has this year that they haven't had the past couple years. The quarterback, like Johnson, right? When it breaks down, they can scramble.
He can scramble, yeah. The one thing I've noticed about Brown is he's kind of a 50-50 guy. He'll throw, but he'll run, and it seems to be about the same either way. 11 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter of play. Brown in the gun will take the snap. He's going to run again, right straight up the middle. He's going to be sniffed out, going to be sandwiched there in between Josh Van Gelder and Donald Norris for the Bruins.
Now Blacksburg's looking at a 3rd and a 7, it looks like.
Yeah.
This is the point where if you're Blacksburg, you pin yours back and go.
Exactly.
You're faster on the back end than anything that Richlands is going to send out deep.
Right.
So you just probably just go for a blitz here and try to get there.
Yep, exactly. Just make sure you don't fall down on the outside. That's the big thing. Brown in the backfield. He'll take this low snap, gathers it up. Good protection up front. He'll heave it up, and it's completed to Moyer along the sidelines. And once again, now up and limping is Mitchell for the Bruins. Mitchell going to try to get off the field.
It looks like he's going to try to stay on the field.
Yeah, it does.
Here comes his replacement. If I'm Coach Wells, looks like, is that Terry?
Number
2.
It is number 2. That is Joshua Goldson.
Yeah, so definitely Mitchell is struggling. And Coach Wells very smartly is over there shouting at him to just lay down because he wasn't going to get off in time.
Get down, get down. Well, Mitchell will get down, and the referees will blow the whistle, and now Mitchell will pop back up, miraculously healed, and run off the sidelines. He just wasn't going to get there in time, so that was a good heads-up play by Mitchell.
Richlands fans might not like that.
Well, no, but I mean, that is part of the game.
It is part of the game. Now we're reaching that awkward part of the field where I have to go out of the press box to see.
10-18 remaining here. Dropping back to throw. Brown catches a little slant pass there to Horn. Complete. Going to be close to, going to be good for a first down. A gain of 12 on that play.
And just like that, Richlands has flipped the script, and they went from running to deciding, let's go back to the bread and butter, and it's working. Yeah,
and give Richlands credit. They're picking apart the Bruins defense right now. 10:08 remaining here in the 3rd quarter of play. Brown back in the gun. He'll take the snap. Bruins show blitz. Brown going to go ahead and run it himself. Good job creating the edge by Richlands. A gain of about 8 by Brown. That will make it a 2nd down and 2 from the 5-yard line.
That was just a case. That was just a quarterback draw all the way, just kind of setting up his blocking. Where we've seen Richlands get pressure all game. Yeah. Blacksburg on defense really hasn't got pressure much at all.
True, very true. 2nd down. There's the snap. Brown under pressure. He's going to be wrestled to the turf. Driscoll in there for the Bruins. The Richlands faithful did not like that. They wanted a horse collar, but I got to say,
pretty close.
Yeah, you know what I think saved him? And what I think saved him was he had the back of the pants also. He had him in 2 spots, and I think that's what saved him from the penalty being called.
That may be, but if you could go explain that to some Richlands fans.
I can do that if they promise to listen to me. 3rd down and 4. There's the snap. Brown drops the throw. Got all day. Throws it at the goal line complete. The Bruins will stack up the receiver there, but it will be a 1st down and goal for the Blue Tornado. On the catch, number 23, Taylor Horn. And Richlands has it 1st and goal on the Bruins' 1-yard line.
Fans getting up here, too.
Yep.
This is a fun atmosphere.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it really is. 1st and goal. There's the quarterback keeper. It's in. Touchdown, Blue Tornado.
That was just the old Tom Brady. I'm just going to go over top of the center.
Yep. Trey
Nothing
Brown
special.
on the quarterback keeper. The 5'11", 200-pound junior quarterback plows in, and the Blue Tornado have made it a 14-9 contest. Well, so there comes the extra point by, is that Taylor Horn? No, that is 33. That is Levi Forrest.
You can just tell me if he makes it, because I really can't see that over there.
All right. There's the snap. The hold, the kick. It is good, and it is 14-10 in favor of Blacksburg here with 8:43 remaining in the 3rd quarter of play. Well, if you're Richlands, that's how you wanted to start the 2nd half. You needed to come out and score and get your fans right back in this contest.
And that is exactly what they've done. The 1st quarter, Richlands fans were in it. They got a little bit, got quiet there.
They did get quiet in the second
half.
quarter.
I noted it. I've been around here long enough to know, how it feels.
Right.
The fan base is a little bit uptight now. Kind of like a shark with blood in the water. They're starting to get back up into it. And that's one thing. Blacksburg doesn't play in front of this a lot.
No. But if you're the Bruins, you are on the road. You have been on the road several times. I mean, you won a state championship on the road.
Absolutely.
So, you're not, this is not unfamiliar territory for you, that's for sure.
Right. Now if you're Blacksburg, what's the best remedy to a touchdown on the other side?
Score.
Go score.
Yep, you just got to go out there and do what you do. Beck, Terry, Mitchell, back deep for the Bruins. Sorry, Ryan. Bruins have a 14-10 lead, 8:43 remaining.
4-9, 4-1-2.
I do notice, and I do have to ask, I see the cheerleaders have blues on the front of their uniforms. The goal post pad also says blues.
4-1-2.
Like St. Louis, like the hockey team?
It's just, we are the Tornado, but with the Blue Tornado, specifically, there's a color involved with it. So with that, it's a shortened nickname of just the Blues.
Gotcha. Okay.
The unofficial nickname.
Okay, here's the run-up and the kick. Beck will field that at the 2. Bounces off his chest, hits the turf, picks it up at the 10. Now to the 20, cuts back up at the 25, at the sidelines, gets roughed up out of bounds at the 26-yard line. So the Bruins will go to work, 1st and 10 on their own 26.
It'll be interesting to see here what Blacksburg does. You said you talked to Coach Wells, and he wanted a lot of the jet sweeps to Terry. Yeah. Haven't seen it happen much.
No.
Beck does have 60-some yards there, but it's not as if he's gotten going until that. A lot of that came on that one last play.
Right.
It's interesting to see what Blacksburg goes with here.
Well, we'll find out very quickly. The Bruins come out. Twins formation to the left side. Single receiver to the right. Back in the backfield right next to Johnson. He'll take the handoff. Cuts up, spins away from one. Beck keeps his feet churning, drives forward, and picks up 7 yards for the Bruins.
If you're Blacksburg, you take that every time.
Yes, you do.
That was just a simple halfback draw that should have been stopped for probably a 2 to 3 yard loss on this place, and Beck slips one tackle and just drives his, like you said, drives his leg. Now you're with 2nd and 3, and
this is what you want if you're the Bruins. 2nd down and 3, like Ryan said. There's the snap. Johnson will sling it out, knocked down there at the line of scrimmage. Great job once again. Logan Steele this time elevating to bat that ball down. And if you're Grant Johnson, you've got to get a little bit more under those passes. I know you want to zip them in there and get them to your receiver, but you got to find that happy medium. You got to get them over those outstretched hands.
Yeah, that's I think maybe the fourth tip pass we've seen at the line of scrimmage like that.
Yep.
And the problem with going, trying to put some touch on it is the better chance of an interception.
Yep, that's it. Johnson will hand it off to Beck. Beck busts through the line, keeps his feet churning, and plows ahead for a gain of 6 and a first down for the Bruins.
Just another one of Beck carrying people along with him.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Well, like
Go
you
back
said,
and attribute that to him in the offseason.
Adding that weight, yeah, exactly. 7.5 or 7:50 remaining rather in the third quarter of play. If you want to get some out-of-town scores ready for us after this play. Johnson will take the handoff. He hands it off up the middle. Terry with the spin move. Terry tries to bounce it out to the outside, still on his feet. And finally wrestled to the turf. Tyquest will pick up 5 for the Bruins out of the running back position.
And that's why you see the Richlands coaches are afraid of Terry.
Yeah, true.
He made about 8. He didn't get much there, but he made about 8 different people miss on that.
Yep.
Let's see here. Grayson trailing Glenver 17-7 in the third.
Okay.
See if I can find a Salem score here after this play.
Johnson in the gun. He'll take the snap. Hands it off to Beck. Beck will turn it right up the middle, lowers his shoulder, and blasts his way ahead for a gain of about 3.
Patrick Henry, 21. Albemarle, 21 at half.
Okay.
Marion leading my rival, Tazewell, 41-7 at halftime.
That makes you feel happy, doesn't it?
Oh, how sweet it feels. Still haven't seen a Salem score since the 7-0 at halftime.
Okay. 3rd down and 4 for the Bruins. Ball on the 45-yard line of Blacksburg. Johnston will empty the backfield. Trips to the left side, twins to the right. Johnson will take the snap, drops right straight back to throw. Under pressure, he'll go down. Sacked out there by number 6, Race Moyer, and that will force the Bruins into a punting situation, and that gets the Richlands faithful up here in this contest.
I feel like it's a broken record, but they have been in the backfield on every passing play. And Blacksburg, we're seeing them have some success running the ball.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, Beck getting 5-6 yards a touch. Then all it takes is that one time to push them back a little bit. And Richlands, they're going to pin their ears back and go. They have nothing to lose at this point.
No, exactly. Into punt for the Bruins is Sheeler. He'll take the low snap. Sheeler will put a foot into it, the left foot. A wobbling high punt, going to be fielded by Daniel Brown on the fair catch at the 28-yard line. So Richlands will put their offense to work, trailing in this contest to the Bruins, 14-10, 5:42 remaining in the third quarter of play. I'm Paul Vanwagoner. Ryan Dye is my color commentator for this season of Bruins football. Brian Reed is our engineer.
It's been a fun season.
It has
already
been so far, yeah.
I keep thinking, oh man, I don't want this to end. Then I remember, I still got 5 games left.
5 after this, and then a whole playoff run.
Right.
Of, 5 more games.
Let's hope.
Yes. Exactly.
I would love nothing more than to call a state championship run.
Oh, it was fun. Hopefully they get to do it again. There's the snap. Brown will keep it himself, right straight up the middle. He breaks a couple of tackles, leans forward, and picks up 5. Bruins had him dead to right in the backfield, and Brown ran through several arm tackles, including Logan Hudson out there on the far end.
That was like, we talk about it with Beck, that was just some willpower there.
Yeah. Well, and, Trey Brown is only 5'11", but he's 200 pounds. He's a thick 5'11".
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, and to put it into perspective, Cole Beck is 6'1". He's also 200 pounds, So, I mean, you're not bringing these kids down with an arm tackle. You need to put a shoulder into it.
Absolutely.
Brown in the backfield again. 2nd down and a long 4. He'll lose a couple of yards there, and wrapping him up in the backfield for the Bruins is Cole Epperly. That'll be a loss of maybe 1 for the Blue Tornado.
Looks like they're going to say got back to the line.
Right back to the line of scrimmage, exactly. Well,
3rd and 4, is that right?
Yeah, 3rd and 4. It's a long 4. It's almost 5. We'll call it 4 for the benefit of the fans at home. Ball sits on the 34-yard line. Bruins with a 14-10 lead. Need a stop here against the Blue Tornado. Trips formation to the right side. Man comes in motion. That's Brown. Brown will take the snap and drop to throw. Evades one. Now still on his feet. Now Brown going to get swarmed under. The Bruins defense do a good job of containing him and bringing him down. The first person to touch him out there was Epperly. Finally bringing him down was Logan Hudson, and that will make it 4th down and 6, which means that the Blue Tornado will go ahead and punt.
And that was one of those where we're talking about the speed of the back end of Blacksburg. Brown several times eluded some tackles there. At one point, we see it all the time. You elude one tackle and then there's nobody left. You're okay. Well, somebody's open down the field, and he looked. Nobody's open. I mean, those defenders running stride for stride. Give credit to Blacksburg there. Good job by the defenders keeping up.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see what Forrest does here on the punt. Puts a foot into it. He's going to give it a boom, and that will take a bounce and will roll all the way down to the 4-yard line of the Bruins. Tyquest Terry let that thing bounce and hop, and I'll tell you what, if you're Richlands right now, everything is going in your favor.
Everything but the score.
Well,
the momentum definitely has creeped to this side of the field.
Yep.
But we know Blacksburg.
Right.
One play and everything can be changed just like that.
Absolutely. So it is 14-10. Bruins have the lead. 3:21 remaining here in the third quarter of play. 1st and 10, ball on the 4-yard line of the Blue Tornado.
Bruins ball 1st and 10.
Johnson in the gun. Bunched up formation for the Bruins. Now they'll spread Terry out wide to the near side. On the far side, I believe that is Cam Weiss, but I'm not 100% sure. Handoff will go right straight up the middle. Beck going to be stacked up. He will probably gain nothing on that play.
That's Epperly on
Epperly, it is Epperly on the far side. You are correct. I saw the 8, but I couldn't see the 1, which is why I thought maybe Weiss.
Easy to mistake that.
Yes.
At least both teams wearing jerseys where it is very easy to see numbers.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Well, 2nd down and a loss of 1 for the Bruins, so 2nd and 11. Johnson will take the snap. Handoff goes right back to Beck, trying to give him some breathing room. Stacked up at the line, will pick up 2 on that carry. We'll make it a 3rd down and 9 for the Bruins. Well, ball on the 5-yard line, 3rd down and 9. The defense wants the fans up, and they respond here at Ernie Hicks Stadium. Johnson in the gun, Terry to the near side, Epperly to the far side. Johnson will take the snap, fakes the pass, throws it out on the far side, intended for Epperly, right through his hands, and he goes down very hard. Slow to get up. Bruins will have to punt. Epperly will get up, and now will walk off the field under his own power. Well, he had Epperly. He was open. Epperly just couldn't reel that thing in.
Kind of just went straight through his hands, too, and another defender was right there on top of his back. Almost could have been maybe a pass interference there. It was a little close.
No call, though. So now if you're the Bruins, you got to be very careful because you're punting from your own end zone. Sheeler with his heels on the edge of the blue takes the snap. He'll put a foot into it. Wobbly kick will come out to the 38-yard line. Now takes a hop and a roll for the Bruins. They're going to let it roll to midfield, and they will down it just on the Blacksburg side of midfield. It looks like based off the spot, the official will set the nose of the ball right directly on the 50-yard line. So if you are Richlands, this is a good opportunity here. 1:58 remaining in the third quarter of play. 14-10, Bruins hanging on to that close lead. Blue Tornado will come out, it looks like, with more of their standard style of offense as opposed to that I formation that they had been running.
I was talking to my dad in the stands at halftime. He can't ever recall seeing that.
No.
Especially with the shifting they were doing and things like that. He's never seen that.
Trips formation to the left side for the Blue Tornado. Brown in the backfield. He's all by himself. He'll take the snap, drop to throw. He's got time. Now we'll roll out to the near side. He's going to tuck it and go himself. He gets run out of bounds over there by Terry. But now before he picks up about 3 yards, Epperly also in on the tackle for the Bruins.
Terry kind of lowered his shoulder there thinking he's going to put the hit on, and Brown just kind of stood there.
Yeah, kind of shrugged him off.
It just shows the...
Well, Tyquest is 5'9", 165.
Right, so I was going to say, it just shows the size difference in the two there.
Yep. Not much difference in height, but when you talk about 200 versus 165, that's a lot of boom that you got to lower if you want to knock that down. Brown once again in the backfield all alone. Trips formation to the left side. He's got one receiver to the right. Bruins showing blitz off the end. Picked up there by the Blue Tornado. Throw it over the middle. Completed to Moyer. Moyer keeps his feet driving. Moyer will pick up enough for a Blue Tornado first down.
Richlands has found something here with Moyer. Let's just do short passes.
Yep.
Blacksburg is surprisingly playing off of this. They're playing in the zone, but they're playing so far off.
Yeah.
Richlands is just taking what they're giving and just throwing underneath.
Yep. And Moyer is just basically posting up like a center in basketball, and just giving his quarterback Brown an opportunity to just hit him right between the numbers. Moyer 6'2", 210. He's only a junior. Trips formation again to the left side for the Blue Tornado. Brown in the backfield. Bruins showing blitz off the edge, and now we've got whistles.
It's going to be a false start on 71.
And for Richlands, 71 is Luke Martin.
Just barely creeped back. Blacksburg showed a heavy blitz there, and I think he was just getting on his heels, getting ready to start the back pedal.
Is Richlands trying to bring the lunch pail? Is that what I'm seeing down there on the table, Ryan?
Right here under the tent?
No. On the Gatorade, or the Powerade, by the Powerade jugs there.
Oh, that's the mustard. The mustard is in that box.
That box has got the mustard?
It's a cooler with the mustard.
I don't know what that's all about. You'll have to tell me later. There's a snap, and player goes down. That is Brown. Bruins show pressure off the edge and get there. So that will be a huge loss of about 10 for Brown. Okay, the mustard.
Yeah, so when players cramp up, a lot of times people say eat a banana, but actually mustard is better for cramps.
Okay.
Releases them faster, gets you back to a playing shape faster. So whenever you see a Richlands player cramp up, you'll watch the mustard come out there. They'll shoot some mustard in their mouth. They'll be fine in a few plays.
Okay, second down and a mile here for the Blue Tornado. This is an obvious passing situation. Brown will take the low snap. Now under pressure again. Giving chase is the Bruins Sheeler, and getting to him out there on the far end is Gideon Driscoll. Driscoll picks up the quarterback after putting him on the turf. Good show of sportsmanship. Gain of about 3 by the Blue Tornado.
Caldwell family, we have a lost billfold over here.
End of the quarter.
End of the quarter. All right, at the end of the third quarter, Bruins have a 14-10 lead. It's fourth down and long. We'll be back. You are listening to Bruins football on your local radio station. We are ESPN Blacksburg.
Back to the field for more Blacksburg High School football on ESPN Blacksburg.
Back live at Ernie Hicks Stadium. Paul Vanwagoner alongside Ryan Dye and all of you. It is fourth down and what is that, 20? It's a good 20. Fourth and 19, something like that for the Blue Tornado. They're going to punt it away. They're going to try to pin the Bruins back deep again. It'll be interesting to see if Tyquest, Terry, and Cole Beck let this ball bounce like they did the last time. There's the snap. Big punt, wobbling end over end. Beck will come up and field it. Makes one man miss. Now Beck at the 20, going to be swarmed under and will drop right there at the 20-yard line. Well, so respectable starting field position for the Bruins on this drive, as opposed to the last one where they let that ball roll all the way down to the 4-yard line. Not a whole heck of a lot you can do with the ball once it rolls down to the 4.
No, you got to see what they had there. I think you might see a little bit more open offense here. Yeah, they're really conservative with two runs up the middle with Beck and then just a quick slant that wasn't there. Now there's plenty of room behind you.
Right.
Should something go awry, so.
Well, Johnson will come out with Beck in the gun next to him. Split out wide to the far side are Ramsey and Van Gelder. On the near side, you've got Terry and Babcock. The handoff goes right to Beck. He'll try the left side. Not a whole heck of a lot there. Smothered under by Andrew Dye. No relation to Ryan Dye. 2nd down and 8.
Still no relation.
That never gets old. At least not to me.
Andrew Dye calling for crowd noise now.
Oh, 2nd down and 8 for the Bruins. 14
the Bruins
to
right
10.
in front of the band, too, who are playing
Yep.
right now.
Yep.
And Blacksburg looking at the call here.
Everything is done by hand signals for the Bruins, so you don't have to worry about hearing anything. There's the snap. Johnson will drop back to throw. Throws it over the middle. Got Van Gelder wide open. Van Gelder down the middle of the field. 30, 25, 20. Cuts back to the outside. 10-5. Touchdown, Bruins.
What did we talk about earlier? One play.
One play. And if you miss on the blitz, which is exactly what happened right there for the Blue Tornado, Grant Johnson will make you pay. And on the skinny post, Josh Van Gelder was able to break free. He got behind the defense, and once he did, there was no catching him on that play. Bruins make it 20-10.
We talked about it. Richlands was going to live and die by stopping Terry and Beck and letting the others beat them.
Yep.
And you said it earlier, the others can beat them.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we just saw.
Well, now the Bruins, to attempt the extra point, doing the kicking is Sheeler. Here comes the snap. The kick is up. It is good, and it is 21-10 for the Bruins. And now if you are a Bruins fan, you can breathe a little bit, because when it's 14-10, that's too close for comfort, especially with as good as Richlands is. Now that it's 21-10, it's a 2-possession game.
Right, but we've also seen Richlands come out and move the ball.
Oh, yes. Oh,
so
yes.
While it is a more comfortable advantage, it's still not quite.
Oh, it's definitely not
the relaxing advantage.
No. That's for sure. It's definitely not like it would be, say in the fourth quarter against Giles or even last week against Amherst. That was a little bit more relaxed in the fourth quarter.
Right. See if we can find some scores here. Pulaski beats Carroll County 49-6.
Wow, Pulaski's good, boys and girls. Keep an eye on them. They're going to play the Bruins later on this season.
That may be. I don't know if that score proves anything, though. I mean, Carroll County did lose 53-0 to Single A Galax last week.
Yeah,
Carroll County is not a good program.
I'm telling you right now, you keep an eye on Pulaski. I'm just telling you that. What else you got for me?
Fort Chiswell leads Floyd County 14-7.
Okay.
Battle of undefeateds over there.
Yeah?
What else we got?
Anything on that Salem game?
I keep Salem after 3 up 14-0 on Northside.
Okay. A little bit more comfortable for Salem. That is a big matchup next week between Salem and the Bruins. Sheeler to kick off for the Bruins. Back deep is number 24, Bisaya. There's the kick. Check that. That's 34, White. White will field it. White right straight up the middle of the field. White cuts back. White lowers a shoulder and blows through a hole, picks up a huge gain, and returns the ball back to the 34-yard line of the Blue Tornado. So 10:50 remaining here. There's your name again. 10:50 remaining here in the fourth quarter of play. 21-10. Bruins have the lead. Tornado come back out
Here's
on the
name Bruins fans might remember. Remember Grayson Overstreet?
Yes.
For Stanton River?
Yes.
His night is done.
Okay.
14 carries, 266 yards, and 4 touchdowns. A real workmanlike effort.
I'm telling you right now, man, that kid is good.
Yes, he is.
That kid was good last year, and he had another year to develop. He's really good for Stanton River. They're my pick to win Division 3.
You almost said 3A.
I did. There's the snap. Rolling out is Brown. Brown under pressure. He's going to go down. Norris, the first one to get him, and helping to clean up on that play is Sawyers. Good job by the Bruins defensive ends to make sure that Brown had nowhere to go.
we're starting to see more pressure.
Yeah.
From the defensive line, and
Yep.
I think part of that could be contributed to the fact of the size difference in the schools.
Yeah.
So if you look at the defensive line for Blacksburg, there's not too many of them that play offensive line.
Right.
Whereas for Richlands,
Yeah.
it's almost all of them go both ways.
Yeah,
So you're starting to see
Driscoll is
some
the only
fatigue.
Driscoll is the only one that goes both ways for the Bruins.
Right, so you're starting to see some fatigue.
Yep. Bruins showing blitz off the edge. Here they come. Dropping back to throw is Brown. He's going to roll out now. Picked up out there. Van Gelder gives chase. Van Gelder will get to him and pull him down for a loss of 1. Good job out there by Josh Van Gelder to just kind of hold his ground and give Brown nowhere to run using the sidelines as an extra defender.
Yeah, Brown tried to put a little shimmy move on him.
Yeah.
Brown, while he's a good player, he's not going to be as athletic as Van Gelder out there.
Right.
Van Gelder didn't really bite on it at all.
No.
Just went straight to him.
Oh, third down and 20. Third down and 19. What is the official call? They say 17. That's a generous 17 for the Blue Tornado. There's the snap. Dropping back to throw Brown. Under pressure. He's going to be spun around. Norris going to take him down. And 3 straight sacks for the Bruins defense. And they are rolling right now at Ernie Hicks Stadium.
Yeah, if you're starting to see fatigue become a big thing, Blacksburg defensive line still looks pretty fresh.
Yep.
Nothing happening downfield because of the speed of the Blacksburg defenders.
Yep.
Richlands is really starting to reel now. And now you're wondering if this becomes like Giles, where the floodgates are about to start opening.
Right. Well, we'll find out here as Forrest gets ready to punt the ball back to the Bruins. 8:50 remaining in the fourth quarter of play. Clock continuing to run. There's the snap. Forrest will put a foot into it. Low line drive kick. Takes a bounce and a hop and a roll, and the Bruins are just going to let it roll, and it will trickle all the way down to the 34-yard line, where it's down there by James White. So with 8.5 remaining in the contest, Bruins 21, Blue Tornado 10, Paul Vanwagoner, Ryan Dye, and all of you. Brian Reed, our engineer. Thanks to everybody for tuning in tonight on ESPN Blacksburg, your local radio station.
It's been a fun night.
It has been a fun night. It's been a good game. How are you feeling right now, my friend? You all right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine.
Okay. This was an angst-ridden contest for you.
I'll be glad when this game's over.
Yeah?
Well, I'll just put it that way.
Okay.
Win, lose, draw, either way. When I can worry about Salem next week, I'll be so much better.
Johnson in the gun. Twins to both sides. He'll take the handoff. He'll give it to Mitchell. Mitchell looks to try to bounce it outside. Nothing doing out there for Mitchell. And he's going to be wrestled to the turf by Moyer.
Moyer having a good game out there.
He is.
Both offensively and defensively.
Yeah, I agree. I agree wholeheartely.
An odd switch here, too, with Mitchell in the backfield.
Now Mitchell will come out.
44 coming in.
Checking in for the Bruins is Logan Hudson. They had Beck split out wide, using him as a decoy, I think, on that run to Mitchell. Second down and 14 for the Bruins. Ball on the 30-yard line of the Blue Tornado. And whistles, I think the Bruins are going to get called for a false start.
No, Atkins jumped offside. Whereas we've seen some players tonight kind of creep close to the neutral zone, Atkins had a whole foot over it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he absolutely did. 8 minutes remaining here in the contest. Bruins leading 21-10. There's the snap, swung out to the near side for Terry. Terry will bounce that to the outside. Terry at the 50, down to the 40, the 30, the 25, 20, 15, 10-5. Touchdown Bruins, but there's a flag on the play at the 44-yard line.
It's gonna be a block in the back.
Oh, man.
It was pretty obvious. Babcock just kind of dove his body into about 3 Richlands defenders, knocked them all down. The problem was that he knocked them all down from the backside.
Okay, well, that one will come back. Now the question becomes because of where the penalty is on the 45-yard line.
Should be a first down.
It should still be enough for a first down. Let's see here what happens. 7:49 remaining in the fourth quarter of play. Personal foul on the offense. It won't be enough for a first down because they'll march off 15 here.
Also, it wasn't a block in the back. It was a personal foul.
Yep. It will still give the Bruins some forward progress here. Instead of it being 2nd down and 8, it's now 2nd down and 4.
That's now 2 Blacksburg touchdowns have been called back by costly penalties. Well, I mean, Blacksburg is looking good on the scoreboard right now, but they haven't played the cleanest game at all.
True, very true. Twins to both sides for the Bruins. Johnson in the gun. He's got Beck lined up next to him. Blue Tornado showing blitz. They'll drop out of it. Hand off to Beck. He'll go right straight up the middle. Beck loses the ball. It's out. And I think Cole's got it back. Whoa, very fortuitous bounce for Cole Beck right there. That ball stripped out as he got spun around, but it popped right back to him where he was laying on the turf.
And Race Moyer is beside himself because he dove on that ball, and I think at the last second, Beck just kind of swiped it out from under him. That could have potentially been a very large momentum swing right there if Richlands gets the ball back.
1st and 10 now for the Bruins. Ball sits on the 48-yard line of Blacksburg. Bruins looking to cross over midfield. 7.5 remaining here in the 4th quarter of play. Clock running. Bruins have the lead 21-10. There's the snap. Johnson drops to throw. Fakes a pump. Now throws it over the top. That pass completed to Sheeler. Down the sidelines. Dives for the end zone. They'll say he's down at the 1-yard line. That wasn't Sheeler. That was Cole Epperly on the catch. And Epperly all the way down to the 1-yard line makes a huge gain for the Bruins.
That was just somebody had their eyes in the backfield, a play action there to Beck, just opened Epperly wide up. I think Epperly almost actually dropped the ball there, and it forced him to slow down as he tried to concentrate on getting the ball back in. That's why Brown caught him. Otherwise, I think he was pretty gone.
Yep. Well, I got a feeling here if you're the Blue Tornado, you're getting a constant dose of Cole Beck for the next 4 plays. No, that's going to be Johnson. He's going to run in, but it's going to be a false start on the Bruins.
Going to be not a false start, a legal procedure again.
Legal procedure.
Another player moving forward at the snap.
Yep.
We've seen it several times tonight. Like I said, Blacksburg looks like they're going to come away with the win here, but if you're Coach Wells, I don't know how happy you are with the
You'll spend some time dissecting some film tonight.
Right. Definitely been some penalties, some costly ones at that. Some fumbles, 2 interceptions by Johnston, which is uncharacteristic of him.
Right. 6:57 remaining here in the 4th. Bruins are still looking at a 1st and goal. This time it's from the 6-yard line. 21-10, Bruins with the lead. Johnson will take the snap, hands it off to Beck. He'll lean forward. He'll pick up about 2 yards on that just straight ahead dive play. That will make it 2nd down and 4.
That's just your typical dive, and like you said, you're probably going to get a heavy dose here of just run it up the middle. Try to eat some clock, too.
Yep.
And you feel like a touchdown here probably puts this game on ice.
Yeah, I'm thinking so. Bruins will split 2 out to the near side. Epperly out here, along with Terry. Packed up bunch formation around the line of scrimmage. There's the snap. Johnson going to keep it himself, and now we have whistles and a dead ball encroachment penalty on the Blue Tornado.
Indications are offside call against the Blues.
Well, so that will, give the Bruins back.
Put it back to about where it was when we started this.
Yeah. Well, the good news for Blacksburg is every time this happens, it eats up a little bit of clock. 6:15 remaining here in the 4th quarter of play. Johnson will bring the offense back to the line of scrimmage. Let's see if they go with that bunch formation or if they try to spread out Richlands a little bit. 21-10, Bruins with the lead. 2nd down and goal on the 4-yard line. There's the snap. Johnson going to roll out. Going to try to throw. Looking over the top. Tried to get it over to Drew Babcock and just out of Babcock's reach on that play. So that will make it 3rd down and goal.
Probably an ill-advised throw there. Trying to make something out of nothing. That was almost picked off, which would have been the 3rd pick inside the 5-yard line tonight. Blacksburg we talked about Blacksburg in the Johnson game playing a bend, don't break kind of defense. That's really what Richlands has done tonight.
Yeah.
Blacksburg has gotten down there. It's just Richlands hasn't broken much.
Oh, third down and goal. Ball on the 3-yard line of the Blue Tornado. Bruins going to kind of spread things out as much as they can. Johnson all alone in the backfield. Timeout by the Bruins. No, 6:07 remaining here in the fourth quarter of play. A timeout on the field. We'll take a 30-second timeout. We'll be right back. You are listening to Bruins football on your local radio station. We are ESPN Blacksburg.
From burgers to wings, lunch or dinner, Hokie House is the only place in Blacksburg for the best. The best Hokie burgers, the best wings, and awesome service. Whether you're looking for a pregame meal or somewhere to celebrate the victory after the big game, Hokie House is the place for you. Don't forget to ask about their daily lunch specials and their 6, 10, or 12 wing meals. You can also order online and get your lunch delivered. That's Hokie House, 322 North Main Street in Blacksburg. Order online at HokieHouse.com.
You'll have good signal pretty much the whole way.
Deliciousness jumps into your
Except
mouth.
from that one part coming down that hill at that elementary school.
Back to the field for more Blacksburg High School football on ESPN Blacksburg.
Back live at Ernie Hicks Stadium, Paul Vanwagoner alongside Ryan Dye and all of you. It is the Bruins and the Blue Tornadoes. Bruins have a 21-10 lead, and they are knocking on the door with 6:07 remaining here in the fourth quarter of play. Third down and goal for the Bruins. Ball sits on the 3-yard line. Bunch formation to the left side for Johnson. He's got Epperly to the right all by himself. Man comes in motion. It's back. Fake the handoff. Now Johnson going to keep it himself. Tries to pick his way forward. Leans and stretches out. Might get it to the 1-yard line. Johnson thought he was 7'4". He's unfortunately only 6'5". He needed another foot.
Only 6'5". Now decision time for Blacksburg. If you take a field goal here, you're going up by 2 scores.
Yeah.
Versus if you don't get this here, I know it puts Richlands back deep, but it's still a 10-point game.
I think you go for it here. I mean, let's let the season, or let's let the game be decided by a decent play. Here's Johnson, hands it off to Beck. He'll walk in, touchdown, Bruins. Well, that's why you got a kid like Cole Beck on the team.
Yep, that was just a simple halfback draw to the left.
Yep.
And was he even touched?
I don't think so. if he was, it was, hey, how you doing?
Right.
Yeah.
That's just Beck being Beck. He's had D night tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, he has.
While Johnston has struggled, Beck has not.
Right. Be interesting to see the final stats out of Cole Beck. He'll have over 100 yards, I'm sure of that. But the touchdowns have been huge. Sheeler on the extra point, little botch on the hold, but Sheeler able to get that up and through. So 28-10 in favor of the Bruins as some of the Richlands faithful begins to file out here at Ernie Hicks Stadium. You don't get to beat the traffic if everybody else is leaving at the same time. I'm just saying. Sometimes,
Depending on where you park in this facility, it can be frustrating. Where we're parked at, pretty good. But if you're parked in these spots down here,
yeah,
the only way out, it's a one-way,
yeah,
all the way around.
Okay.
Where we're parked at. So sometimes leaving early here is a good thing, but if you're a Richlands fan, you probably want to leave early for a different reason.
Right.
Because the score is lopsided.
The other way. But it's not. In fact, it is a 18-point lead for the Bruins. The good guys are winning in this case.
It depends on which side of the fence you're on.
Well, that's true. We're on the Bruins side today.
Are we?
Oh, poor Ryan. He has struggled all week with this. He has struggled since June with this.
Like I said, the quicker these 5.5 minutes can be done, and then our post-game show can be done, quicker I can move on
and get ready for Salem. I hear you. Interestingly enough, I did have a good conversation with Coach Wells after we did our interview, and he did say that a lot of the things that you've seen out of the defense of Richlands, we will see next week out of the defense of Salem. So he said, you know, it is nice for us because we get an opportunity to play against the exact same defense 2 games in a row. There's the kick, fielded at the 10-yard line by White. White will bring that ball up over the 25 to the 29-yard line, and that's where Richlands will put the ball in play on the 29-yard line, 1st and 10. 5:17 remaining in the 4th quarter of play. Again, the Bruins have a 28-10 lead. If you're the Blue Tornado, you're going to have to score pretty doggone quick here.
Yeah, you're going to have to move the ball quickly. If this was last year's team, much like what we see from Blacksburg this year, Richlands was a one-play threat all season, and it happened all season.
Yeah.
This team, not so much the one-play threat that last year was. So, I mean, if you're going to try to make this respectable, you're going to have to grab a quick score and try for an onside kick.
Brown will drop to throw. Swings it out to the near side. That pass intended for number 23, Taylor Horn. Horn gets absolutely blown up over here on the near side by Noah Ramsey. Nice job out there on the defensive edge. Also in on the tackle for the Bruins, number 44, Logan Hudson.
Here's your final. Abingdon 29, Christiansburg 7. Closer than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Also, Salem up 20-0 with 7 minutes to go.
Okay, Salem's got that game well in hand then.
Should be a fun atmosphere next week at Bill Brown.
Yes, it should. There's the snap. Handoff will come right straight up the middle by Brown, or rather by Booker. Booker will plow his way ahead. We haven't seen a lot of Booker in the second half of play, which is interesting because if you look at what Booker has done, I mean, he's gouged the Bruins defense. I thought that he played very well in the first half.
He had 5 rushes for 16 yards in the first half.
Okay.
But they came at key times, and they were big runs on 3rd down and things like that.
Quarterback keeper by Brown. He'll plow ahead and get the first down. 4:42 remaining in the contest.
I don't know if you noticed this. The tent on the Richlands sideline now with the TV under.
Yes.
I'll explain more after the play.
Okay. Brown will take the snap. He'll drop to throw. Fires it over the far side. That is incomplete. And on the breakup for the Bruins, I believe it is Noah Ramsey over there.
I think it might have been Terry.
Was it Terry? Yep, you're right. It is Terry. Yep. Noah's on the other side.
Back to this TV.
Yes.
It's a new thing Richlands had got last year, so they actually watch the plays that just happened.
Okay.
So they can go down there, the offensive line, the offense can huddle around the TV and start coaching on the television while the game is happening.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Little middle screen here for Richlands. Bruins sniff that out. Making the catch is Moyer, but nowhere for him to go. Driscoll, the first one in for the Bruins. No gain on that play. It will now be 3rd and 10 for the Blue Tornado.
That's just a case of athletes.
Yeah. Yep.
We've talked about it all night.
Yep.
Blacksburg had the decisive advantage in athletes on this field.
Right. 4 minutes remaining here. Back to pass is Brown, but a whistle on the play. As in the backfield right away was Cole Epperly. And are they going to get Richlands? No, they're going to say defensive offside. So that'll give Richlands. That makes that 3rd and 11 now a 3rd and 6. So a little bit more manageable for the Blue Tornado.
Yep, more manageable. Still tough against this Bruins defense, though.
It is. Brown in the gun. Next to him is Booker. He'll talk to Booker for a moment, now gets right back into his position. He'll take the snap, going to keep it himself. He's got a lead block from Booker. He'll have enough for the first down as he plows ahead for a gain of 7 and a first down for the Blues.
I think people are going to look at this game, the box score, tomorrow.
Yeah.
When the papers come out, or Sunday when the papers come out, that sort of thing. And they're going to think, well, man, it's such a kind of a close game here.
Right.
That was a swing pass to Booker there where Booker tripped over his own feet.
Booker tripped and fell.
And forgot to catch the ball as he was falling. But I think you're going to see the box score, and people are going to think, well, this game was kind of close.
Yeah.
I think the yardage here is going to be pretty lopsided.
Right.
The difference is, like we talked about, the bend don't break defense for Richlands. And Blacksburg has kind of shot themselves in the foot.
Right.
So while at one thing, people are going to think this is not a good Blacksburg win, this is a good win.
This is a good win.
Regardless of Richlands, the record. At the same time, people are going to look at Richlands and they're going to think, well, they competed with this team, which is much better than what it's looked like the last couple weeks.
There's the snap. Rolling out to throw is Brown. He'll fire it to the near side, complete to number 23. That is Horn.
Corn.
Horn.
I know, but you almost said corn.
Well, because I thought it was Jacob Cole, but it's not. It's Taylor Horn. So that's where you get corn from. Because the C from Cole and the ORN from Horn.
Did you know
makes
that
corn?
Rain makes corn, corn makes whiskey.
Are you quoting
That's a Luke Bryan
country?
song,
I was going to say, are you quoting country music. Now here's the rush by the Bruins. Brown will fire that out. That's picked off. Going back the other way is Josh Van Gelder at the 40, the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Van Gelder will walk in, and the Bruins defense with a pick six on the ill-advised pass by Trey Brown. 3 minutes remaining in this contest, and the Bruins have added to their lead.
That was just a case. I think when Brown got spun around, the player was open.
Right.
And so when he realized he wasn't getting sacked, he just went ahead and slung it.
Yep.
Not realizing that Van Gelder had then slid over.
Right.
And, Van Gelder is a quick. It's funny to think that he is one of the slower skill players, but it's not as if he is slow by any means.
No. And the thing with Josh is very, very smart. Like his football intelligence. So he knows where the ball is going or where it's supposed to be going. He positions himself very well. Now the kick on the way. Looks like it's good. It is. So the Bruins add to the lead, 35-10 with 3 minutes remaining in the contest.
We talked about this with Giles. This is the same thing that happened, right? Blacksburg started to pull away. That score looks really lopsided.
Yep.
But it didn't play that way.
Right.
So it's one of those, if you weren't here and you don't know the full story, then you're going to think, okay, well now maybe Blacksburg just kind of ran away with it.
Right.
Whereas really this
was a good game for 3.5 quarters.
It was.
Yeah, it was. Coming up, our Franklin Taekwondo postgame show. During our Franklin Taekwondo postgame show, Ryan Dye is going to pick our player of the game, brought to you by Hokie House in downtown Blacksburg. Got to get ready to do that. If you're looking for something fun to do tonight to celebrate a Bruins victory, might I encourage you to pop by and see our good friends at Hokie House. Speaking of which, I got to pay up on a wager
to Tim Thomas.
And also to Chris Slusher. Chris was the original one that I made the bet with. I had given him 23.5 points on that.
You almost pulled it out.
At one
and in
point.
fact, at one point you had it pulled out until a targeting call brought it back.
Yep, that was it. I was feeling good about that until that happened.
One. UVA are 10-point favorites this week against UConn.
We're going to have the PK's pregame show for you tomorrow at noon. You'll be there. I'll be there.
That's it.
No, actually, Mike McDaniel going to join us from his remote location somewhere under northern Virginia. There's the kickoff, going to be fielded there by Horn. Horn will bring it up the middle for the Tornado. Horn spins away from one, still on his feet. Now Horn will go down at the 36-yard line. You and me, Mike, from a remote location, we'll have the PK's pregame show for you on your local radio station, ESPN Blacksburg. We'll talk a little bit about that game against Delaware. We'll also preview ECU. We'll talk about what happened around the ACC last week and what's going to happen this week around the ACC. And then, of course, we will make our highly anticipated picks for the week.
Man, but would you take UVA with the spread?
No, I'm
taking by 10 points?
I'm taking UConn. I will tell you right now, I am picking UConn. I will not pick UVA all season. I will take 2 losses, maybe 3 if they can somehow manage to pick up a third win somewhere. I don't think that they have 3 wins. I got UConn beating them this week. Call your bookie, boys and girls. You can take the points. You don't want them, you don't need them, but you'll take them.
Delay a game.
Yep, delay a game on the Blue Tornado. 2:51 remaining here.
Also
in
new
the
quarterback.
Fourth quarter of play.
Race Moyer now at quarterback.
Yes.
Race is the backup.
Moyer plays quarterback, wide receiver, and linebacker for this squad.
Defensive end sometimes, too.
Defensive end sometimes also, yeah. He's Mr. Everything. Moyer barks out the signals. Bruins show blitz. Moyer drops to throw. Under pressure. Oh, ball's out. It's on the ground, and the Tornadoes will pick it up. Gathered up there by Booker, and Booker finds the corner and is able to pick up big yardage on that play. I don't know why they haven't kept Booker more engaged in this game.
I think it was a case that he's only had, well, now I guess 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Time at running back because he had been used as a slot wide receiver.
Right.
So maybe it's a case of
Booker might be cramping up. Let's break out the mustard, Ryan Dye.
Get ready for it.
I am.
First, I got to see if it is a cramp.
That thing looks like it might be a cramp.
It is pretty. It's balmy out here.
Yeah, Moyer with the ball. He'll have a first down as he plows his way ahead over midfield to the 44-yard line of the Bruins. 2.5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter of play. Bruins have the lead, 35-10. Moyer in the gun, barks out the signals, takes the snap, drops back to throw. He steps up, plenty of time, fires it down the middle of the field. That pass is complete to number 35. That's Blake Casey, and that will be a first down for the Blue Tornado.
I believe Blake's a freshman, is that correct?
Let me see here. Now I got to find him. Blake Casey is a freshman, yes.
But he's going to be a good one for Richlands in the future. Just a wee freshman out there catching a pretty big pass across the middle and taking a hit, too.
Yeah, taking a big hit. Boyle will drop back to throw again. He'll fire it towards the end zone. That ball batted down. The closest player to it was Noah Ramsey. Ramsey couldn't quite reel that thing in. He wanted to, but unfortunately for Noah, it falls harmlessly to the turf. 2:08 remaining here in the fourth quarter of play, 35-10. Bruins have the lead.
Sorry about that.
Blue Tornado driving. Second down and 10. Ball on the 22-yard line of the Bruins. Moyer in the gun. Barks out the signals, takes the snap. Low, he reels it in, drops back to throw, fires it up. It's a wounded duck, and that will fall harmlessly to the turf as Moyer runs headlong into Cole Epperly. And Epperly got there just as he was getting ready to release that ball. 2:03 now remaining here in the fourth quarter of play.
If you're Richlands, this is still the starting defense for Blacksburg.
Yeah, it is.
For the most part.
Yeah, it is.
So you're still wanting to put the ball in here. Just for confidence next week. The road doesn't get any easier for Richlands next week.
Right. A few players subbing in and out now for the Bruins. Moyer will drop back to throw. Moyer with time, fires it over the middle. Complete touchdown. That ball caught by number 23. That is Taylor Horn. The junior makes the reception from Moyer. And that will make it to 35-16 in favor of the Bruins.
That was a nice catch by Horn, too. In between two defenders, he elevated. Moyer really put it in a place only his guy could get it, too.
Yeah.
Really a solid drive there by Moyer. I know it was kind of mix and match with the starters there, but still a good drive if you're Richlands.
There's the snap. Kick on the way, and it is good. And it is now 35-17 with 1:56 remaining. And now if you're the Bruins, you're going to have to pay attention because obviously Richlands is going to try the onside kick. I mean, it is elementary from here. It would require a colossal comeback for the Blue Tornado in order to make this even closer of a game. But if you're the Bruins, you know they're going to keep trying. So you got to be aware of that. Be cognizant of that.
Cognizant, a big word for you.
Thank you.
Is that your big word of the day?
What I like to do is I like to find those dollar words when a nickel one will do and use those. It's fine. You take your time.
Terry dancing over there on the sidelines.
Well, you dance too if you were leading 35-17. Your name's back up on the board. Well, it was. It's gone now. Welcoming back all of their distinguished alumni to this game tonight.
Distinguished is a word that I wouldn't be using for myself.
No?
Nah.
Well, this has been a very well-played game. It's really been a very well-played game on both sides. Bruins are expecting an onside kick here. They've got Goldforth, Babcock. 18 is Epperly. I believe Terry is back.
I got 3.
Van Gelder is up there. 3 is Mohammed, all up on the front line.
Hands team.
Yeah, they definitely have the hands team out there. There's no doubt about that. Here's the run up by Forrest. He's going to try the onside kick. Babcock will just leap up and pull that thing down like a rebound and lay on the turf and take the ball at the 47-yard line. So if you're the Bruins here with 1:56 remaining, you just need a couple of first downs and just got to milk this clock. You know you're going to see a steady diet of the Bruins running game here. You're also going to see the 2s in for the Bruins, which means Luke Goldforth going to be in, as is John Cole in the backfield. We're going to see Jared Madigan out here playing wide receiver. It's flanked out to the far side, Brian Mitchell, and also out there is Ryan Staniland for the Bruins. So you may not see a steady diet, quite the steady diet of running. You might see Coach Wells try to open things up a little bit with the 2s. There's a handoff right straight up the middle goes Cole. He tries to pick his way ahead, and when I say Cole, I'm not talking about Cole Beck. I'm talking about John Cole, the backup running back.
It's like Richlands has subbed in their seconds as well.
Yeah. Yep.
Getting the backups a couple minutes of playing time never hurt anybody.
Yep, that's it. Give them some actual game experience. Minute and a half remaining. Clock continues to run. Bruins going to have to snap the ball probably 4 times here, which means they really kind of do need to get a first down. Otherwise, they're going to have to punt it back to Richlands. Goldforth, content to just let that play clock roll down. Now he'll bark out the signal. He'll clap his hands together. There's the snap. He'll take it, hand it off to Cole. Cole will plow his way ahead. Not a whole heck of a lot there. Met in the backfield by the Blue Tornadoes. Marcus Smith, also in there for Richlands, is number 65.
I was literally in my head about to compliment you that you had not said it all night.
Did it on purpose. Marcus Smith also in on the tackle.
And then here you go.
That was purposeful. And I noticed that your head snapped right around. Man, oh man. Certain words will trigger you.
That's right. Vautech, Richlands, and Appalachian. That is the trifecta of blood boiling.
Oh, I love it. There's the snap. Handoff goes to Cole. He'll lower his shoulder and plow ahead. He'll pick up about 4, maybe 5 on the play. That'll make it a 4th down and long. And with 15 seconds remaining, no snap needed. This game will end. The Bruins victorious. They will defeat the Richlands Blue Tornado 35-17. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, it is time for our post-game show. Post-game show is brought to you by Franklin Taekwondo, inviting you to come visit their school, talk to their instructors, and even participate in a class or 2. You'll quickly learn that Franklin's Taekwondo is not only the best martial arts school in the New River Valley, but they have the best family-oriented programs in the area. Franklin Taekwondo, 7 Roanoke Street in Christiansburg. The Franklin Taekwondo post-game show comes your way next on your local radio station. We are ESPN Blacksburg.
Franklin's Taekwondo, Franklin's Taekwondo, Franklin's Taekwondo, Franklin's football on ESPN Blacksburg.
Oh, back live in Richlands. Oh, Ryan's not buying the banjos. Ernie Hicks Stadium. Bruins victorious tonight. They win 35-17. Paul Vanwagoner alongside Ryan Dye and all of you. A tradition here in Richlands after the game. Players, coaches, parents all meet out at midfield. Fans, anybody that wants to do it. Yeah, meet out at midfield
and say a quick prayer to those that might have got hurt and for their seasons going forward. And you see Players from both teams hugging it out right now.
Yep.
Fans, parents, both teams.
Yeah.
I know as a fan, I used to go out there all the time. If there was a player on the other team that had a really great game, win or lose for Richlands, I'd go out there and pat him on the back. Good job.
Yeah.
Something we've always done here. You don't see it a lot of places.
No. And Coach Mann's addressing all of the players from both squads, which I thought was kind of cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He'll lead that. He'll be thankful for both ways. Nobody got hurt tonight.
Yeah.
And win or lose, you really just want to see your kids come out of here unscathed.
Absolutely. It is the Franklin Taekwondo post-game show, inviting you to come visit their school at 7 Roanoke Street in Christiansburg. They are the best martial arts school in the New River Valley. 1 or 2 classes, and you'll understand and agree that they are the best in the NRV. Let's take a look at some stats, Ryan, from tonight's contest. Not a great game, not a horrible game for the Bruins.
Now they finished with 343 total yards.
Right.
That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, we will see this team have more total yards this year.
Yep.
We've already seen them have less.
Yep.
So it's going to seem odd, with the amount of. You had a couple touchdowns called back by some penalties, just some sloppy play in general from the Bruins. But you come on the road,
right,
in a hostile environment. This crowd got loud a lot tonight. You come to a hostile environment. You're playing a good team regardless of what their record is and what their record will be in 2 more weeks. And you come out of here with a win. So I don't know if you're Coach Wells, it's a pretty good homecoming,
right?
Even with a few small blemishes.
Yeah, that is very true. Grant Johnson, a decent game in spite of the 2 picks.
Yeah, 10 of 19, 237 yards and a touchdown. That's largely aided by the 78-yard strike to Van Gilder. But he sacked 4 times and still had the 2 interceptions there, which is not what you want to see. There's things to address for this Blacksburg team. Especially with who we know is coming in next week.
Salem comes to town next week to take on the Bruins in a game that Coach Wells would like to be the big rivalry for the Bruins, and I think moving forward, considering that the Bruins will be playing in Division IV, that could very well be. One of the things Coach said to me after our interview on Thursday, our pregame interview that we run here on ESPN Blacksburg was, the problem is in order for us to be a rival, we actually have to be able to beat them. So, he understands that it starts with actually picking up a victory against a very good Salem team, and it could happen this coming weekend.
Like he spoke about that as a Richlands fan. Yeah, Tazewell's our rival.
Right.
But they haven't beat us since 2002.
Right.
Is it really a rivalry?
No.
And there's only been 2 or 3 games where it's even been competitive.
Right.
My senior year, we beat them 63-0.
Right. Yeah.
Where our JV team was scoring on them.
Right.
So it hasn't really been competitive in a while. I don't think it's going to be competitive this year. So, if you're Blacksburg, you want that Salem game to be a rivalry. And it can be a fun one.
Yeah.
Richlands fans are very familiar with Salem and that fan base. That's a rabid fan base up there, much like it is here.
Right.
And so you want that to become great, but you have to win.
You got to win. And Coach Wells understands that, and I think it'll be an interesting game next week. Bruins do have to clean up a few things if they want to compete, though, against a squad like Salem. Anything else on the stat sheet that jumps out at you before we take our next commercial break?
Time of possession pretty even, 23-31 to 24-29 in favor of Richlands. For the penalties we saw for Blacksburg, only 5 for 26 yards.
Okay.
But man, they were costly.
Yeah, it's funny because you say 5 for how many yards?
26.
26, yeah, no. 5 for about 214 points.
Right.
That's
it's not about the quantity sometimes, it's about the quality.
Yeah.
And, we saw two long touchdowns come back. Also, Beck didn't get to 100 yards tonight. 21 touches for 94 yards, 3 touchdowns, a 4.5-yard average.
Right.
It's still a good game. He's racking up touchdowns quickly. It might not be as many yards, And teams are obviously, they are starting to key on him more than anybody else.
Yeah.
You got that a little bit last year, but you didn't see it so much at the beginning of the last season.
Right.
So now,
exactly.
you're going to get that. You're going to get that shot every week.
Yeah. It is our Franklin Taekwondo post-game show, inviting you to come out to their school and meet their instructors. Franklin Taekwondo, 7 Roanoke Street in Christiansburg. We'll take a quick time out. When we come back, Ryan is going to choose our player of the game. That is brought to you by Hokie House in downtown Blacksburg. Player of the game as part of the Franklin Taekwondo post-game show comes your way next. Bruins win 30. 35-17. We'll be right back. You are listening to Bruins football on your local radio station. We are ESPN Blacksburg.
And Blacksburg.
Thank you to Brian Reed for just making me laugh all night long. Back live at Ernie Hicks Stadium, Paul Vanwagoner, Ryan Dye, and all of you. Bruins victorious tonight. They win 35-17 as we continue with the Franklin Taekwondo postgame show. It is time for Ryan. Well, we're going to get to our player of the game here in just a minute, but before we do that, let's take a look around the area, Ryan. Some scores of note and interest for fans.
Yeah, and as a last update, this is still almost 30 minutes ago at this point, Hidden Valley, Franklin County tied at 21 in the fourth quarter.
Okay.
Stanton River beats Liberty 49-7. What else we got here? Gretna beats Radford 15-8.
Yep.
That is not a football score.
No.
Looks like Cave Spring. Sorry. Salem wins 27-0.
Okay.
Over Northside.
So a couple of, you said this before we went on the air, a couple of 3-1 teams going to do battle.
Teams next week. It's going to be a game.
That's going to be a heck of a game.
And then finally, Patrick Henry beats Albemarle 28-27.
It is time, as part of our Franklin Taekwondo postgame show, to pick our player of the game. Player of the game is brought to you by our friends at Hokie House. If you're looking for some delicious wings or a great Hokie burger, Hokie House has got it for you. Hokie House, where flavor jumps into your mouth. Ryan Dye is here to pick our player of the game. And I got to ask you, my man, who you got?
Just before I do it, I want to shout out Cole Beck. He's still on the field.
Yeah.
The last Blacksburg player on the field. As of right now, he's over there at this point. He's been out here taking selfies with players and some fans. He dropped his top 3 today.
Yeah.
Blacksburg, North Carolina. Virginia Tech, North Carolina, or Pitt.
Right.
So I think a lot of the fans at Richlands knew how good he was.
Right.
So shout out to him for being so willing to hang out here at an opposing stadium to take pictures of people you don't know. Anyways, our Hokie House player of the game.
Yes.
Any guesses?
Hokie House player. No, it's not my job to choose,
Yeah, I just
man.
want to see if you had a guess.
I have zero input on the player of the game. This is the player of the game is a you thing, and I am ready for you to choose our player of the game, Ryan Dye.
All right, well, our player of the game is Josh Van Gilder.
All right.
He comes in tonight, just an all-around stat. 3 catches, 87 yards, a touchdown. He had that was the 78-yard touchdown, obviously, there that kind of put this thing away. Also with a 69-yard pick 6.
Yep.
There for Blacksburg's last score. And then 6 tackles, 3 of those for loss, 2 sacks. Whew, that's just an all-around great game.
Yeah, it is. Josh Van Gelder is our Hokie House player of the game. Well, that'll do it for our Franklin Taekwondo post-game show. Our final score, once again, the Bruins win 35-17. For our engineer tonight, Brian Reed, and my color commentator, Ryan Dye, I'm Paul Vanwagoner. Have yourselves a fantastic night, everyone. We will have the podcast of this game up for you sometime this evening, so feel free to let your friends know and download it and enjoy. Thanks to everybody for listening from here in Richlands, Virginia. We will talk to you tomorrow with the PK's pregame show on ESPN Blacksburg.